That's 800-482-8399.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott shows the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Once again, the world on the American Forces. Christopher Sullivan next hour talking about the World Cup draw. Now, the last time there was a draw here, it was in December of '93. It was in Vegas, and the hosts were Robin Williams and Faye Dunaway, who was in her 40s. At that time. And Sepp Blatter, the vice president of FIFA, was there, and we went through the pots and we found out who was playing whom and where and when. This time around, it is going to be star-studded, and I will be following along as I do the show tomorrow because it is a 9 a.m. kickoff. It'll be noon Pacific, noon Eastern, because the Europe doesn't want to wait too long on this stuff. Now, Kennedy Center, which Trump said he was going to shut down because it had the name Kennedy in it, and then RFK Jr. is like, well, that's my name too, and he's like, all right, I'll leave it open. The president will be there. Who are some of the celebs? Some sporting celebs. Tom Brady, Raiders owner, and he did some other stuff too. He will be there. Shaquille O'Neal, Pretty Ricky, he will be there. Aaron Judge, California native, of course. There's 40 million of us. Wayne Gretzky will be there. And Rio Ferdinand. You might not know Rio Ferdinand. He came up through the West Ham youth system and then became an England international, and then he was purchased by Manchester United and was part of all those great teams. Rio's now a professional broadcaster. West Ham sold Rio Ferdinand, Jermaine Defoe, Frank Lampard, Joe Cole. If you were any good, West Ham would sell you. Oh, wait, I got to put the camera back on. I got to get in the habit of turning the camera on and back on and off again. Okay. All right. So anyway, we're going to have some celebrities there. Now, Tom Brady is part owner of Birmingham City now. The Brummies of St. Andrews, they have drawn up a stadium you wouldn't believe. It looks like the Battersea Power Station, if you don't know what that is. And the Pink Floyd album, Animals with the Flying Pig, that's over Battersea Power Station, right south of the Thames. Pretty amazing. Tom Brady said, quote, being part of the final draw for the FIFA World Cup is an incredible honor. It's the kind of global stage every athlete dreams of. I'm excited to help set the path for a tournament that brings the world together like nothing else. All right, those are celebs. Well, who will host? Heidi Klum, who I think is 50. Nothing wrong with that. She will she will host with Kevin Hart. Now, this is, I think, I wish I knew this guy. Danny Ramirez, anything? Dom? Danny Ramirez.
He's an actor who was in the newest Captain America film.
Okay. So he's famous, I guess. Was he Captain? He wasn't Captain America, was he? That's Chris.
He plays the new Falcon.
Falcon?
He replaces Anthony Mackie's character. Anthony Mackie becomes new Captain America. He becomes new Anthony Mackie Falcon.
All right. I don't know who Falcon is. Who was the white Captain America?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. I was thinking Chris Taylor, but he's a baseball player. All right. They're also going to have entertainment. This is going to be like the Oscars. They're going to have Nicole Scherzinger, who's a Broadway star. Do you know who she is?
Yeah, she was in the Pussycat Dolls.
Okay. I don't know her. Andrea Bocelli, I know him. He's the blind opera singer. You know, from Step Brothers. Volare. And Robbie Williams. You might not know who Robbie Williams is. He was a big star in the UK in like 2002. The Village People will perform YMCA. And they're way older than me. And do you remember Trump was playing YMCA at those rallies? And everyone's like, you know, the Village People are gay, right? And they're like, what? And then they stopped playing the song. And then you had about 45 artists saying, stop playing my music. So the Village People will perform YMCA. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, I mean, Kevin Hart is that little guy. He's in the zeitgeist now. But Klum, Village People, I think it's interesting. Wayne Gretzky, I have these really cool cards. I bet you they're worth something from Upper Deck of Jordan midair as Jumpman dunking a soccer ball and Wayne Gretzky hitting a soccer ball with a hockey stick. I have those cards. I wonder what they're worth at this point. And FIFA will hand out something called the Peace Prize. This is the first time they've ever done that.
Good work in some previous games as a sophomore in state tournament games, and so he has some big game experience. But this year, Blake Elder has completed 68% of his passes, Matt, 2,822 yards. That's an average of 201 yards per game, 31 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. And to me, everything you just said is the recipe for why they're here. A quarterback, some people say game manager. I think that's such a terrible, has a terrible connotation to it, because really he's taking care of the football, he's making good decisions, completing passes, touchdowns, leading his team, and doing exactly what a quarterback is supposed to do. And because of that, that's why they're playing tonight. Well, the third member of our broadcast team is roaming the sidelines, braving the cold down there on field level. That is Chris Solwecki. And Chris, you are going to be a busy man this weekend on the sideline. I know you are bundled up, but it is a cold one tonight. Nothing that we're not used to here in December in Canton, but tonight 21 degrees at the moment.
Yeah, 21 degrees, but the wind isn't blowing, so it's really a pretty palatable 21 degrees if there's such a thing. I want to start by saying that Anderson won the toss and deferred to the second half, so the Avon Eagles will receive the football first, and as you're looking at your radio dial, they'll be moving from left to right. You know, when you get to this place in the season, you don't need any extra motivation. I mean, it's one championship, one game away from a championship. But Avon has made this year all about a former player. Jeremiah Kelly passed away in the spring from an undiagnosed heart ailment. He had graduated or was about to graduate from high school and go and play at the University of Cincinnati. And they have dedicated this. They carried his jersey out to the coin toss, which they have done all season long. And they have stickers on the back of their helmets that say LLJK, live like Jeremiah Kelly. So you don't need any more motivation, but they've got a little bit tonight as they remember their fallen comrade.
Chris, thank you very much. In fact, his younger brother, Josh Kelly, wears his number 73. And I'm sure it's an emotional night for Josh and his teammates and that entire Kelly family as they hope to see Avon hoist the hardware for a second straight year. All right, so the Avon Eagles will face the number 1 ranked Cincinnati Anderson Raptors. They are 14-0. We'll take this time out. When we come back, we'll delve into the Raptors story a little bit as we work our way closer to the kickoff of the Division II state championship game. Right now, let's pause for these messages from your local stations. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network.
Welcome to Canton, Ohio. The Birthplace Football, also home to Pro Football Hall of Fame and the OHSAA Football Championships. We're here today as the NFL Flag Championships are currently taking place, and there are hundreds of teams participating, also some participants from outside of Ohio.
Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. The lights are on. They have taken full effect as we get ready for a 7 o'clock kickoff between the Cincinnati Anderson Raptors and the Avon Eagles to start off this great championship weekend of high school football. Well, Matt DeRazio, let's talk about the Anderson Raptors, 14-0. They ran the table in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference. They fell in the championship game to this Avon team last year, but they have certainly been on a mission. They defeated Big Walnut 29-22 in an exciting semifinal last week, and they too have a cast of playmakers to bring to Canton.
Yeah, they've been on about a 4 or 5 year run here where they've made it to the Final Four, and after winning the state championship in 2007, so they're picking back up. And there's nothing like the thoughts that probably were going through their head as they lost last year 20-13 to this team on a snowy night, where they're probably thinking, I could have done this, I could have done that, if we could only have another shot. Well, they got another shot tonight, and I think there's something to be said about how you feel about going after out there the first time versus, hey, it means a lot more this time. We're going to get some sort of revenge and try to find a way to win.
It's their 18th overall playoff appearance in school history, 32-16. Matt alluded to their first and only state championship. That was back in 2007 when they defeated Louisville 31-25. Now, kind of a parallel storyline to Avon. Cincinnati Anderson with a new quarterback this year, and Owen Scaff, he's a junior and has put up video game type numbers. Matt, 4,584 yards passing, 72.5% completions, 39 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and he can also run the ball effectively. He has rushed for 7 TDs, just an incredible total package quarterback.
David, I tried to get some more eligibility and move down to Anderson so that I could throw the football that much because it is a lot of fun. He's in control. I think you mentioned last week against Big Walnut, was it 57 attempts or somewhere in the 50s?
Yeah, so 37 of 50.
I mean, my goodness, and that's late in the winter here. So honestly, he's got a great night tonight. They're going to commit to what they've been doing was throwing the football. He's at 4,500 yards, all those touchdowns. And I'm eager to see him come out here and see what he can do.
Well, the football does not catch itself, and so he has some guys who can really go out there and haul them in. 2 players are over 80 catches. Cooper Kathman, who is a returner and made an impact in last year's game, he had 83 grabs. Tyson Weaver, 80 catches and 19 touchdowns. And, don't forget their primary running back, Jordan Davis, who has caught 71 passes out of the backfield.
It's hard to really believe. I almost want to say, hey, you made a mistake there. You read them wrong because that was 70, 80, and 80. And to me, it's an exciting brand of football. And I think typically at this time, because it's so cold and, Ohio football late in the year, you got to be able to run the football. You're not going to be able to go far. Well, they're stuck to, hey, we're going to throw the ball. This is who we are, and this is what we're going to do.
So those are the Raptors. Chris Zolwecki, you are on the sideline, and you saw this game a year ago where it was snowing heavily, but we've avoided that this year. We still have the cold, but the teams will not have to battle the snow falling. How do you think that will affect the Raptors?
Well, I saw the Raptors play last week against Big Walnut, and it was cold, not quite as cold as tonight, and they had no trouble completing passes all over the field. So, as you mentioned, 37 for 50. Durazio, you'll love this. Not only has Scaff thrown 517 times during the regular season, but he's completed 72.5% of them. So he's not just shooting against the Velcro and trying to hope something sticks. He is pinpoint accurate. Now, you had asked earlier, Matt, when we were off the air, about the practice schedule for this Anderson team. Since Coach Evan Dreyer arrived, they have moved to 6 a.m. practices for a number of reasons. They want to avoid the danger of the heat early on in the year, and they want to give the students a chance to be more like students, to go to volleyball games and to have time to study and all of that kind of stuff. So 6 o'clock every morning, and they run their practices like they run their offense. Fast, 7-on-7s, lots of things that are happening at a very fast pace. And so they have to come to practice not bleary-eyed, but ready to play, and that's something that's prepared them for tonight.
Yeah, it's some kind of a commitment for any team at any level, but the high school level, and you got to also remember that after those early practices, they've got a full day of school.
Yeah, David, when I heard that, I was thinking, okay, obviously I think to beat the heat early on makes a little bit of sense in the summer, but then to commit to it as a program for several years and then also to have success, to me, it could end up being a trend for other schools to pick up to say, and I think the one thing about it is, obviously it's early, there's some focus, but Chris had mentioned, you get to be a student, you get to go to the volleyball game, or you get to go to a soccer game and support your schoolmates, and to me, I like that, and with them being in 2 state championships in a row, who's to say it's not working?
Yeah, no question about it. I would emulate that myself if you look at the success they've had. Again, 14-0, number 1 ranked team in Division II, the Cincinnati Anderson Raptors. 2 teams from opposite ends of the state meeting here tonight in Canton in the Division II state championship game. You're listening to pregame coverage here Time to pause 10 seconds to allow our stations along the network line to identify themselves, and this is the OHSAA Radio Network.
WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren. We are AM 600, The Patriot, a Cumulus media station.
This is the first of 7 state championship games that will be coming your way on the network. We'll have 3 games tomorrow, a triple header coming up on Saturday as well in this 54th annual OHSAA State Football Championship weekend. When we come back, we will continue our pregame conversation, including getting some keys to the game from both Matt and Chris. Again, we're working our way to a top-of-the-hour kickoff between the Raptors and the Eagles. This is the OHSAA Radio Network. We will keep it here. Let's keep it here, Matt, as we'll go to keys here. Let's talk first about Avon. We've talked about their great quarterback in Blake Elder. They also have some terrific defensive players, including a linebacker named Ryan Stolarski. So we want to give the defensive guys some props as well. But what do you think are some factors tonight for the Avon Eagles to try to make it 2 in a row?
David, you know me being offensive focused. I'm going to go away from that. Last week, the 98-yard interception set the tone, and it was the defense. You know, you feel like you're going to give up a score. They're already down to your 2-yard line. Defense is not giving up. They're finding ways to make plays. And to me, if you're going against an offense like this that Anderson has, and they're going to throw the ball that many times, and they've got weapons all over the place, you have got to stay fundamentally sound. You've got to be able to tackle. You have to play assignment football because they're going to out-scheme you, and there's going to be somebody open unless you do what you're told and you react properly. So I'm really putting this on the defense for Avon. Obviously, their offense is fantastic as well, and led by Blake Elder. But I honestly, it's a defensive battle here because if they can slow down the offense, I feel like they'll be in great shape.
Yeah, they've got some good defensive backs. You mentioned Caden Clapham, who had the 98-yard pick 6 last week, which kind of turned the tide in that win against Walsh Jesuit. It was a 38-7 final, a little deceiving.
Right.
Walsh Jesuit jumped out to a 7-0 lead with the opening kickoff return.
Right.
And then they had the ball down deep, about to punch it in when Clapham made that pick and returned it. That kind of put the momentum on Avon's side, and they hit the gas pedal and blew them out. But you've got some other guys like Jarrell Fenton, who has 5 picks on the year. He's a corner who could play a big factor tonight. Let's check in with Chris Zolwecki and see what he thinks about keys for Avon tonight. Chris?
A couple of players to watch for me. Keontae Smith, the running back, is one of those. 98 carries on the year for 583 yards and 9 touchdowns. I mention him because he scored a touchdown last year in this game. It was a 10-yard run in the third quarter that really helped the Avon team. So when you talk about, the turnover, all the guys that graduated, all that kind of stuff, you've got this guy coming back and ready to play with some experience in this environment. The other one I'll mention is the defensive end, Lance Dawson. Dawson on the year, 33 quarterback pressures, 7 sacks. If you let Owen Scaff stand back there and pick apart your defense, it is going to be a long night for Avon. If Lance Dawson can give Owen Scaff a little bit of heartburn, cause him to make some mistakes and throwing the football, that could be the difference in this.
Yeah, that's a great point, Chris. They do have some guys like Dawson who have some pretty good sack numbers. All right, let's shift over to the Anderson side, Matt, as we're getting a little bit closer to the start of the football game. We'll be having our national anthem momentarily. The Raptors are on the field. Avon entering the field right now. But Cincinnati Anderson, they will want to try to keep that points per game average going, which is at 44 points a game.
Yeah, and I think I've had my fill of defense. I don't want to get crazy here, so I got to get back to the quarterbacks here. So
pace yourself.
Yeah, let's not get nuts here. I think that this falls on Owen Scaff and how he handles the pressure, how he distributes the football. Is he accurate in this cold weather? Not too windy, it doesn't seem like, but hard to tell from up here. I think how he handles the game is how things are going to go. And if he's disrupted at all, Avon's going to have a big night. But if he catches fire early, the Raptors could find a way to win this thing.
In the teleconference, Evan Dreyer talked about Jordan Davis, the tailback whom we mentioned earlier as a great pass catcher, but he says he is the guy who can really make things go because he kind of balances things out. He is an effective runner, but a great receiving option as well. He's kind of the linchpin to that offense, and he may play a big factor tonight as well.
Yeah, I think, honestly, if you have a dual threat out of the backfield, it's tough to defend. Sometimes you think, okay, we'll bottle him up, can't run the football, but if he can get out and catch the ball, he becomes a threat that way as well. So definitely keep your eye on him.
All right, Chris Sowecki, what about the Raptors? What do you think will have to happen for them to prevail tonight?
Well, I'm going to turn my focus to the defense since Matt talked about the offense. Cornerback Ace Alston has over 40 offers to play at the next level, and linebacker Antoine Higgins has over 35. Higgins is a disruptor. He is in the backfield. He is causing mischief almost on every play. And then the other linebacker, Brady Kuhn, he's already committed to the Air Force, 118 tackles, 26.5 tackles for loss, 16 pass deflections, 9 sacks.
Yeah, I mentioned Antoine Higgins, Matt, offers from some schools like Alabama, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, Tennessee. You might have heard of some of those.
I think so, actually. It's not bad.
All right, we're going to pause here and listen in for the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. It is the Eagles and the Raptors in the Division II state title game. We'll have it all for you next. Play-by-play right around the corner. Now these messages from your local stations on the OHSAA radio network.
Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
The game is over, but this time, instead of asking how many goals did you score or what were your stats, try asking these questions. Were you a good teammate? Were you coachable? Did you give 100%? And did you have fun? Because those are the values that school sports instill in Ohio's young people, where winning and losing are secondary to the life lessons that will stay with kids long after their playing days are over. This is the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Educate through sports.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. The simple truth about education-based athletics in Ohio is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, it just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
A low line drive kick by Maddox Snyder of Anderson, caught by Grant Barr of Avon. A modest return of about 15 yards. Ball will be spotted at the 26-yard line of the Avon Eagles, and away we go tonight in the Division II state championship game. Avon on the field first. Looks like we already have maybe some sort of equipment issue with one of the Anderson players. He runs off. and they'll get a sub on. So the Eagles offense on the field first. Blake Elder, the quarterback. We'll give you some of the starters as we go along here. It is a frigidly cold night. It looks like we already have a timeout taken by Anderson. So they will use a timeout. Coach was upset about something over there. Did you pick up what might be going on?
I think so, and it's the officials saying you can't have a wristband here, your knee pads are too high, or all that sort of thing. Well, it's one thing to have one player come off the field and you try to make a quick adjustment, but there were 2 or 3 of them for Anderson. I mean, you can't go in a game like this. You can't have 3 of your best players on defense come off the field for any amount of time.
Your officiating crew assigned by the OHSAA. Joe Valipo is the referee. We'll be hearing his voice on the penalty calls. Frank Grubb is our umpire. John Sapphire, the linesman. Greg Ryder will be the line judge. Ben Jordan Downs, the back judge. Marcus Wright, the center judge. They will make the impartial calls in tonight's Division II state championship game. The offensive line for the Avon Eagles, Max Hauk is the left tackle. Braden Patrick is the left guard. Jack Fitch is the center. Caden Krugman, the right guard, and right tackle Ian Engelhart. You've got 3 seniors and 2 juniors on the offensive line protecting Blake Elder, who is a 6'1 senior.
And David, I know it's only it's a timeout. It's the first half, but still, it's not. I mean, you want to save those, not for the first play of the game before it even happens.
Yeah, they had to burn one early. Man in motion is Keontae Smith. Here's the first play from scrimmage. They'll go to Smith, shakes a tackle, got across the 30, running left, tackled at about the 32-yard line. And so a nice gain on first down of about 6 yards. Second down coming up. Anderson on defense first. Avon averaging 40 points per game. Second down. We'll call it 2nd and 5 from the 32-yard line. Elder under center. Hands it off. That's Keontae Smith again, running right up the middle. He wears lucky number 7. On the season, that's his 100th carry. He got the first down there, plowing ahead for just what he needed. He has scored 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, and there was some flat motion where Blake Elder faked the handoff on the speed around, but then the handoff, which created a little bit of separation for that first down, and a big first down here on this opening drive.
Ball on the 37. Avon moving left to right as Matt and I look down at the field from our perch. Nice run again by Smith. Weaving through traffic, got hit, dropped at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 3, was tackled by Ace Alston, the junior. The corner comes up, first-team all-conference performer. Second down, about 7.
And Ace Alston showed right there, full speed making a tackle, no hesitation, and that's a big play.
Tight end in motion, sets up on the left side of the formation. That's Killian Hessig of Avon. They are the defending state champs. We're just underway in the D2 title game here in Canton. 10 minutes to go. There's Smith again. Steady diet of running plays. He ran over the left tackle that time and got knocked down at the 44. Pretty good run there, but looking at a third down.
And David, I got to believe that Coach Elder's thinking ball control. You know, we were thinking, hey, this game might only take 6 or 7 hours with all the passing that may happen. He's saying, hey, we're going to control the football. We're going to keep their offense off the field. Let's get 3.5, 4 yards per carry. Let's take our time as they are right now, drain some clock, and hold on to the football.
Brady Kuhn came up, the linebacker, to make the stop on Smith, who has been busy, but it's 3rd down and 3. 5 receivers set. Extra DB in for Anderson. Here's a pass that's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Ball was batted down by Anderson. That was Artie Swiniger who made the contact with that pass, and it leaves it at 4th down and 3, and decision time here for Avon. Looks like they're going to try to get the punting unit on. 4th down, 3 to go. The ball on the 44-yard line.
the punter. That's who they're missing.
Just now getting on the field. That's Trevor Sikora. He takes the snap. They don't really come after it. Punt down at about the 30-yard line. It will take an Avon bounce and go out of bounds near the 20. That's going to end up being about a 36-yard kick. So the Avon offense stalls after getting close to midfield, and a good stop by the Raptor defense.
It really is, honestly. To get that initial stop, get the ball back is certainly key. And that's obviously we talked about it. This is where they can really get busy here on offense. You're going to see it right away, empty backfield and spread them out.
Owen Scaff, the quarterback, he's a junior. Again, 50 pass attempts last week in the semifinal. He rolls right, fires a pass, and it is caught out about the 25-yard line on the boundary line and out of bounds. Hauled in by Braden Moore, the senior wideout, his 47th catch of the year. It's good for about 6 yards. 2nd down and 4 from the 25-yard line. Scaff running, gets into the second level, and they will get him down after first down yardage, running right up the middle of the field. Tackled at about the 34.
And, David, this is like get back on the line. It almost feels like it's a last-second drive, but it's not. It's their first drive of the first quarter.
Sammy Eulery made the stop. Another quick pass over the middle. Pass was caught at the 40, and immediate tackle by Avon's Ben Streetcheck. That was good for 7. Already 2nd and 3. Back to throw Scaff. Pressure coming. He tries to run for it. Gets tackled from behind by the Eagles' Nolan Robke. Wipes him out. Might have gotten close to the line of scrimmage. I think it'll go down as a 1-yard sack. And the ball is at the 40.
And I felt like plenty of protection, just good coverage, Zach.
Yep, you're right, Matt. He had no options downfield. Tried to run for it at the last second. Robke records his 2nd sack of the season. 3rd down, 4 to go. The ball on the Anderson 40, no score first quarter. Scaff unleashes a pass. It goes right through the hands of his intended target, Tegan Jellick. He's another one of those guys that have gaudy pass-catching numbers, but that time it came in a little hot.
It was a little hot and a little behind. And David, I was going to mention this when Avon had a 4th and short, and now Anderson does. I don't know anymore when you're supposed to punt and when you're not supposed to punt. And it looks like Anderson may think about going for this here and about 4th and 4.
Well, they're at their own 40-yard line. Avon kind of faced this situation and elected to punt. Let's go down quickly to Chris.
Yeah, last week Anderson had a 4th and 8 several times, and they went for it. They don't punt any more than they absolutely have to, so this is not terribly surprising that they're going for it here.
Now a whistle, and who took the timeout? It might have been Anderson again. Or was it a delay of game? I think it's a clock issue.
Yes. I think so, too, because I don't see any flags, and I don't see any coaches too upset yet. So that's the other thing, too. Usually there's some kind of reaction where it can tell you that something didn't go their way.
We've got the play clock reset to 25 now. So the Eagle defense will try and dial up a 4th down stop here. Key moment in the game early. It's a high snap. Ball is rolling back about the 15-yard line. Anderson covers it, but that will give it back to the Eagles in the red zone. High snap over the head of Scaff, and what a break early for the Avon Eagles. They'll take over this possession, Matt DeRazio, at about the 17-yard line.
And, David, as I look at the replay, I don't know if that was Scaff or not. They may have been trying to punt the ball.
Yeah, I thought so, too, at the last second there. You're right.
But the formation looked as if it was just their normal empty formation with Scaff ready to make a play from the quarterback position, but high snap and backs against the wall here in the first quarter.
Here they come now, the Eagles with the ball. We'll see if they can parlay this into the game's first points. We have no score, 7:50 to go in the first quarter in the D2 title game here in Canton. Keontae Smith with the handoff. He gets hit hard at the 15-yard line. He is a shifty back. There's no question about that. Could not find a hole for significant yardage, but he got him 2.
And this Anderson defense has not given up a lot of points this year, and you can see right away why. They play full speed. Everybody is going to the football.
Mark Madden gave him a pretty good pop there. 2nd down, about 8 to go. Back to throw. Elder slings a pass. Man wide open. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. Finn Jordanic hauls it in. Ran a great route. That's his 9th catch in the end zone this year. And Avon takes a 6-0 lead with 7:16 to go here in quarter number 1.
Blake Elder with a great throw, great protection. It's a deep crossing route coming from his right side all the way to the left, right across the goal line, beats the coverage, gets separation, and Blake Elder does a great job of just driving it in there for the touchdown.
It's his 32nd touchdown pass of the year. It only took 2 plays, 16 yards, 36 seconds after the bad snap. And so they take that opportunity. That's what you have to do in a state championship situation. They're setting up for the point after touchdown now. Jensen Petro, he's 47 of 51 on these 1-point converts. There is the snap and the hold. He boots that one right through. It is 7-0 Avon. They strike first in the D2 title affair here tonight at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Anderson will try and answer. First, we'll pause for these messages from the Ohio High School Athletic Association. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Welcome to today's game. This is Paul Keels, and you know how much I love broadcasting the Buckeyes, but I also love high school sports. On behalf of the OHSAA, let's all do our part to set a good example and make this a fun and safe experience for the kids involved. I know this game means so much to the players, coaches, and fans, but high school sports are about much more than the wins and losses. They teach life lessons that will be with the players long after their playing days are over. Good luck to both teams, and remember to respect the game.
You practice hard, you play hard, you're always reaching for your goals. You reach for the next point, the next yard, the next win. And after the game, reach for low-fat chocolate milk. It has the fluids to rehydrate you, the right mix of protein and carbs to refuel you, and the vitamins and minerals to help you build strong bones and bodies. Fuel up with chocolate milk. For more information, visit drink-milk.com.
Why do they officiate? For some, it's a way of staying involved in a sport they grew up with. For others, it's a way to pay it forward by helping kids who play today and tomorrow. It's also a great way to stay active, make extra money, and work with friends. And all of them will say it boils down to one thing: the love of the game. Find your reasons and log on to OHSAA.org to find out how to become an official. You'll be glad you did. This is the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Educate through sports.
This is former Buckeye Tyrus Powell. You're listening to the State Football Championships on the OHSAA Radio Network.
Hey, friends, coming up at the half, Aaron Cassidy will be along to visit with Grady Kinsey, young man out of Indian Valley High School, who today was named Mr. Football in the state of Ohio. So he'll be sharing some thoughts coming up on our halftime show. 7-0 Avon. Anderson about to get the kickoff to try and answer. And let's check in quickly here with Chris Zolwecki. Chris, what did you pick up on that bad snap that set the Eagles up?
Well, what I picked up is that the punter needed to be about 6 or 7 inches taller to have any chance to pull that one down. That was way over his head. I'm looking at the two student sections, and I've got to say I'm really impressed, as cold as it is, how many students have come out. But if I'm giving an edge, it's got to go to Avon, because they've got about 9 kids in the front row without any shirts on. That is crazy to me. But they are showing their fandom with an insane approach. And so I got to give the edge. They have come full force and probably will go to the hospital with frostbite a little later.
Yeah, no question about that. But that's obligatory in these cold weather games. You're going to have somebody out there. I think Tyson Weaver is back deep for Anderson to receive this kick from Jensen Petro. 7-0 Eagles. We've got a long way to go in this football game, Matt. I don't think it's going to end 7-0.
No, not at all. Definitely was not with this high-powered offense on Anderson's side.
Well, Weaver will take this at about the 5-yard line, outside the numbers on the right, 20, 25. Nice move to the 30. Flag comes in. And so we've got a penalty on the return, which was about 20 yards. Looks like we might have a personal foul penalty coming up. Officials are talking it over still. There was a pretty big pile up there. Matt, I didn't pick up anything specifically.
No, me either. It came from far away, too. The flag came from...
It's going to go against Anderson on a blindside block. Again, Joe Volpio is our official making the announcements as the referee. So it's going to walk back. They're going to walk it back 15 to the 13-yard line. First down and 10 for the Anderson Raptors. 2-time state runner-up, 1-time state champ. They're averaging 44 a game, 344 yards through the air each night. They have taken on all comers, a perfect 14-0. Rolling, Scaff throws wide of the boundary line, but a great diving catch by Tyson Weaver to keep his foot in bounds. He was falling out of bounds, but he makes the catch for about 8 yards to the 21.
Yeah, and Scaff does a good job keeping it out of harm's way.
Fakes a run, now he throws. Screen pass in the left flat, gets some first down yardage. Was hauled in by Tegan Jellick, his second catch of the night. 1st and 10 as they get the ball to the 26. This drive started at the 13. Scaff throws, far side of the field. Pass is caught at about the 37-yard line. Tyson Weaver again working into open space. He was tackled by Trevor Maley, the senior safety. He's one of the top tacklers on the Avon defense and a backup quarterback. Scaff fires, pass caught. Weaver working on the sideline near the 50-yard line. Catches with 2 gloved hands on a leap and comes down on the turf at the 49.
And David Scaff does a good job of reading the defense. They bite on a short route. He goes deep. They fall off. He goes short.
Ullery on the stop. And now they come back and they got Scaff in a sack. The Avon defense really penetrated there. It was Nolan Ropke again who makes his second big defensive play.
Yeah, big play, but you have about half a second to celebrate because another play's coming right behind it.
Yeah, they are running the hurry up. It is a nuclear type pace. Scaff getting everybody set. Empty backfield, 5 receivers. 6:05 to go. And a whistle and a false start called against Cincinnati Anderson. I already saw one Raptor drop down and start doing push-ups.
I saw that.
I guess he's the guilty guy.
Yeah, that's like, hey, that was me. I owe you 5. The coach probably doesn't care about the push-ups at this point. He probably just wants you to listen to the snap count.
7-0 Avon. Anderson with the ball, moving right to left. They'll snap it to Scaff. Drops back to throw. Looking. Pressure coming. He got rid of the football and then was hit. The Anderson coach is lobbying for a late hit. Lance Dawson came in and leveled him. So 2 big defensive plays by the Eagles back to back. 8th play of the drive coming up. No huddle offense for Anderson, the number 1 unbeaten Raptors. Scaff dishes it off. Pass caught, 40, 45 on the hash mark on the right. Not a lot of yardage there. Braden Moore makes his second catch. Got to the 46, and it's going to be 4th down, and they're way behind the chains, Matt.
4th and 12, 13, and they're not hesitating. They're going for it here, and maybe it's because of what happened last time when they tried to punt the football.
This is like a super shotgun formation, 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that time he does just pooch kick it away and takes a nice Anderson bounce. It will roll and stop at about the 13-yard line. So that was a nice punt. He flips the field there. It was about a 45-yard kick with no return. And so a nice job there saving the field position.
Yeah, Dave, it's easy to play the results from up here, but you think, why didn't they do that the first time when they were going to snap? They subbed in and out. Maybe it was something where they overthought it or tried to get too tricky, and as a result, they did give up 7 points. They handed Avon the football on the doorstep there, and they converted. This is a little bit more where they have some field position. The defense can react and try to make a play.
Bitterly cold night here in Canton. 21 at game time. 7-0 Avon, and the Eagle offense back on the field with Blake Elder at quarterback. They'll snap it to Elder. He drops back at his own 5, fires a long pass. It was caught far side of the field, an immediate tackle as that ball floated. It was caught by Finn Jordanic, who caught the touchdown pass earlier, but he was absolutely wiped out as he caught the ball. When that ball left his hand, man, I thought it might be picked off.
It was a long throw, and sometimes those, can make you a little nervous. But the ball made it there. I was with you. I thought maybe a catch for a short gain, but defense came up big.
Right now, here's the snap. Elder again drops back to throw, fires a pass. That's caught out of the backfield. Nice run out to the 30, 35, 40, along the numbers on the left, past midfield. Finally caught from behind. Pass was caught by Cam Wendell, the tailback. That's just his 8th catch of the year, but he made a lot of yak yards after the grab, and he's all the way into Anderson territory at the 46-yard line.
Coach Elder dials up the screen, executed perfectly with pressure coming, and then Blake Elder, the quarterback, delivers a nice easy pass and catch and blocking out in front for the big gainer.
Kamari Ty caught him from behind. Here's another screen pass, this time to Keontae Smith. He works into the second level, and they drag him down at the 32. That's a 14-yard pickup for the Avon Eagles and another first down.
Dave, you mentioned how Smith is shifty. How about a little jump cut after about 8 yards? Talk about super smooth with ease. That was special. And it was only a couple extra yards, but to make a guy miss that's coming full speed at you, literally fall down, is a nice run.
1st and 10. Ball at the 32-yard line. Smith again running over the left tackle. Got close to the 25. Might have been down with his knee at the 26-yard line. Tackle made by Brady Kuhn of Cincinnati Anderson. We have 3:45 to go in the first quarter, and both teams running the hurry-up. They'll split a receiver on each side here. Elder with Smith in the backfield. Keontae Smith with a couple of college offers, Matt. You might have heard of one of them. Worcester and Otterbein.
There you go.
All right. Maybe a future Cardinal. Running straight up the middle that time. So nothing fancy right in between the tackles. It was brought down by Tegan Jellick at the 22.
And this is a nice ball control drive. Obviously the big play on the screen, but after that, once again, sticking to the run, controlling the football, trying to work through this first period with a 7-0 lead.
Smith, Wendell, and Colburn are the primary ball carriers for Avon. We haven't seen Michael Colburn yet. Wendell has made just that one appearance with the long 50-plus gain. Here's the snap to Blake Elder on first down. Fires a pass toward the back corner of the end zone. Man wide open. A leaping catch. Touchdown, Eagles. That's Caden Clapham just backpedaling into the back corner. Reached up, brought it in. Put 6 on the board with 2:39 to go in the first quarter. It's now 13-0 Eagles.
Yeah, there was nothing fancy about that. Just good protection, a nice throw, and a go route on the outside. Elder does a good job looking off the defense and the safety. To his right, comes back to the left and delivers the ball to an open receiver and wide open, honestly, in the end zone. Good catch, good throw.
7 plays, 82 yards. In just 2 minutes and 30 seconds, here is the point after kick, and it is up and through. Booted with confidence by Jensen Petro, and it's 14-0 Avon with 2:39 to go here in quarter number 1. During the changeover, we'll remind you that the OHSAA Radio Network would like to welcome our great affiliates, including Akron's WHLO, AM 640, WATH in Athens, 97.3, WQEL in Bucyrus, 92.7 on your FM dial. In Cambridge, WILE 97.7 FM. And this reminder that all OHSAA Radio Network broadcasts are also available on your computer, tablet, or mobile device by logging on to the OHSAA Radio Network page at OHSAA.org. Well, the Eagles throwing the first two punches. Let's check in with Chris Solwecki. He saw that nice throw by Elder from field level.
Yeah, it's a tremendous pass by Elder. Just nice touch, and we talked about this a lot. When the weather is like this, you've got to find some touch. You can't throw seeds at these receivers. You'll break their fingers. So they found a little touch, found a nice spot in the back of the end zone for the score. I want to give some props, though, to this Avon front five. This offensive line has moved those big guys from Anderson, those linebackers we talked about in the pregame. They have controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's why they're up 14.
That was a 22-yard strike to Caden Clapham, and man, he has come up big in these last 2 weeks. That's his 5th touchdown catch of the year. Here comes Petro with the kickoff. 2:39 to go. Plenty of time here in the first quarter. This will be from the 7. It's Tyson Weaver across the 30-yard line already to the 35. Got tripped up outside the numbers as he got ahead of steam going. Trevor Maley able to get him down, and they will start a new drive here, and the Anderson offense looking to get on track, Matt.
Yeah, David, one thing, and Anderson being 14-0, they have not trailed very much or at all this season. The one thing they can think about, and that probably gives them a little bit of a piece here, is that this offense can come from behind at any point. The way they run it, as fast as they run it and as successful they are, there's never a doubt.
Scaff gets rid of the pass quickly on the first play of the drive, hits Weaver as he was running out of bounds into the Anderson sideline. Got to the 39. Short pickup of about 2. 2nd down and 8 from the 39-yard line. Scaff takes the snap, pressure coming with the blitz. He dumps off a pass. It was caught, and then the receiver tackled at about the 44-yard line. That was caught by Cooper Cathman, his first catch of the state championship game. Last week in the semifinal, he caught 11 passes. Slant route. It's caught into Avon territory at the 46-yard line as he hooks up with Tegan Jellick.
Nice job settling in the zone. That's the key. Find some holes if you're Anderson. Deliver the ball, make the catch, get the first down.
Joe Saunders made the stop, the corner. Here's a long pass down the left sideline, and he just did overshoot his target. That again was Tegan Jellick.
And David, most of these throws have been 10 yards and in, 8 yards and in. That was the first real shot they've taken down the field. I think there was a step. The receiver had a step on the defender, but once again, the wind can play a factor, but the ball just a little bit too far.
We have 1:49 to go. Clock stop with the incompleted pass. 5th play of the drive. 14-0 Avon. Scaff in trouble. He runs for it, got out of the pocket, took a hit at the 45-yard line. Might have picked up 3 there. And looking at about a 3rd and 7. Lines are down already. 4 receivers set. Anderson does have a man in the backfield. Now Scaff runs to the right, has some room, and fires a pass, knocks the yard marker down as he overshot everybody over there. I think he was just throwing it away. That's going to look or put him at a 4th down now, so they're looking at another decision.
So that was the first time they've moved the pocket and rolled right. Plenty of time to throw the ball. Once again, good coverage, nowhere to throw to an open receiver. Scaff throws it away on a 3rd and 7, knowing probably that they're going to go for it here on 4th down, but he's got to. This is a huge down here.
They're down 14-0. Anderson ball. They have it at the Avon 46-yard line. 4th down. Scaff in trouble. They've got him. He's going to be sacked. He's still pushing forward, but the Eagles come in waves, and they tackle Owen Scaff. He's down at the 49-yard line, so he lost yardage on that 4th down play. Lance Dawson led the charge, and he got plenty of help.
We talked about this Avon defense. I mean, my goodness, it's suffocating an offense that's averaging 44 points a game, just really looking like they don't have much to do. We know they can't run the ball, or not that they can't, but they don't really focus on it. Anderson, they would like to throw it, and right now they're having trouble not only completing passes but also protecting Scaff.
1:13 to go first quarter. 14-0 Avon, and now they take over on downs at their own 48-yard line. Blake Elder is directing traffic for the Eagles. And a flag out, and that might be a delay of game. They did not get the play off. I think you mentioned earlier, man, I thought it was an astute point. A lot of these plays where Scaff is kind of hung out to dry, the Avon defense just doing a nice job in the secondary.
Yeah, it looks like he's got time when they're moving him around a little bit, but to your point, and they're covering, and that goes back to the fundamentals of and the film watching of here's the route I'm expecting, here's the route he's running, and I'm ready for it.
Well, they break huddle, and now they're looking at 1st and 15. Football back to the 44-yard line, and Elder to throw for Avon. Over the middle, pass is caught in stride. 1st down yardage at the 40-yard line. That was hauled in by Finn Jordanic. He's becoming target number 1 for Blake Elder. His 3rd catch of the night, tackled by Mark Madden, but a big gain all the way to the Anderson 40.
This is the same exact play that the touchdown was thrown on that deep crosser at about 15 yards. This one was not on the goal line. This was just in the middle of the field for a big 1st down.
Elder slaps his hands, takes the snap. There's Keontae Smith. Flag coming out, probably a hold. Got about a yard on the run, was tackled by Brady Kuhn. They halt the clock with the penalty call. Looks like it'll go against the Eagles. They may be walking this one back to the 50. All right, so they do get the holding call. Looks like it was against Englehart, the right tackle. Looking at a 1st and 20 now. They need to get to the 30-yard line. 1st and 20 with these quarterbacks, no problem.
I was going to say, I mean, I don't know if anything changes, actually, from a game plan perspective.
He sends Smith in motion. He's a receiving option. Elder throws over the middle. Pass is tipped and almost intercepted. Tried to throw a pass to Dylan Luker, the tight end, and it went off his fingertips. It was almost picked off by the Raptors. He kind of locked on to Luker there. Schneerstein is the guy who almost caught it. He locked onto the tight end, and Smith was wide open in the flat.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think Chris had mentioned it earlier. The tight end was only, 5 yards away from him? Maybe they were setting up a little screen even, and he threw a bullet on him in this weather with this cold. Couldn't handle it, and it was almost a disaster for Avon.
2nd down and 20 from the 50. Elder will throw it. This time he fires a pass to the right. Caught and then out of bounds, as that again was Finn Jordanic. And he was kind of running laterally, got into Anderson territory. Not a bad gain. They're looking at 3rd and long now, 3rd and about 13. It was Schneerstein who escorted him out of bounds. 14-0 Avon. A couple of Blake Elder touchdown passes. 3 receivers on the left. That's the wide side of the field. Ball on the right hash. They'll snap it back to Elder, standing in the pocket. Good protection. He takes off running to the right. 40, 35, 30, near the 25 and out of bounds. Good for a 1st down.
That's a great decision by the senior quarterback. May have been somebody open down the field. He did not wait because there was pressure right away. He moved in the pocket to his right, saw that there was no one out in front of him. And super athletic kid, sees the down marker in front of him, picks up the yards and gets out of bounds.
17 yards on the quarterback scamper by Blake Elder, who has carried the ball 28 times coming into this game. 138 yards and a TD. 1st and 10. The ball at the 26-yard line or just outside the red zone. Elder hands it off to Keontae Smith. Burrows his way forward and gets to about the 20, maybe to the 19-yard line. Ball came out. I think one of the officials was immediately saying he was down. The Anderson players were lobbying for a turnover. That's going to be the final play of the first quarter. A good start in this D2 championship for the defending champs, the Avon Eagles. They lead Cincinnati Anderson 14-0. Second quarter play-by-play gets going when we come back after these words from your local stations on the OHSAA Radio Network.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
How do you define strength? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's whatever empowers a person to dig deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
You remember that ball game we went to a couple years ago?
Sure.
And how you didn't have enough cash for 2 hot dogs, so you walked with me on your shoulders until we found an ATM? And then when we got back to our seats, we never saw the hot dog guy again.
Well, I don't remember all that.
Yeah, that was an awesome game.
You never know which moments will be the ones they'll remember forever, so take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Eddie George. Football has played a big part in my life, but football is about much more than big plays, wins, and losses and championships. Football teaches young people about dedication, sacrifice, teamwork, and overcoming adversity. Not every team can be a state champion, but every team and every player can give a state championship effort. So let's respect the game and get out and support your local school. You'll be amazed of all the good things you'll see happening at Ohio schools.
$14 to nothing. Avon leading Cincinnati Anderson in the Division II state championship game here in Canton. David Wilson along with Matt DeRazio, Ryan Baker at the controls. Chris Sowecki is on the sideline. Good first quarter for the Avon Eagles. Let's check in with Chris and get his thoughts on the first 12 minutes.
Well, during that intermission, there was a mascot race down here in the middle of the field, and the Eagle of Avon knocked off the Raptor of Anderson. And to add injury to insult, the Raptor also lost a foot and then lost a toenail off the foot. So the Raptor may have to go onto the IR. We'll keep you posted. And if there's any update on his condition, we'll let you know.
If we've ever needed an official podiatrist of the OHSAA, we need it now. It is Avon ball to start the second quarter. They'll keep it on the ground on the first play. Keontae Smith, I believe, was the ball carrier. Not a whole lot of running room on the left. He was quickly subdued just outside the 20-yard line. Matt DeRazio, same question. Thoughts on the first quarter?
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking how one special teams play changed kind of the momentum, gave Avon a little burst there. And I always wonder, so much time is put into offense and defensive practices. How much time do we put on special teams? And it may have changed some momentum that could be very costly.
They did give Smith a good spot. This ball snapped from the 18, and he runs straight ahead. They opened up a great hole for him. That should be good for a first down. They only needed 2. He got about 6 to the 12.
And I like Smith's style of running. Very under control. Great vision. Very patient. Not in a hurry. And then once he sees where he wants to go, that's when the burst happens. and obviously he's been very successful so far in that first quarter and in this first minute.
1st and 10 from the 12. They'll go to Wendell on a handoff running left. He got inside the 10, maybe to the 9. That's a pickup of 3. Tackled by Landon Edwards, the defensive lineman. Blake Elder, 5 of 8 in the game, guys. 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. And this is right in his wheelhouse here where we might see another pass.
Yeah. It's the play calling by Coach Elder's been on point and the execution even better.
10th play of the drive. Elder to Ward, hurdles over the initial line of scrimmage and ends up in the hands of a couple of Raptors, but picks up about 2 more. Antoine Higgins makes the stop, came in with 61 tackles. 10 minutes to go, second quarter. They're already eating up some clock here, Matt. The first 2 minutes gone by.
Yeah, and the Raptors right now defensively have got to find a way. This is a humongous play. They've got to find a way to stop, maybe create a turnover, tackle for loss, something positive for the defense to stop this momentum for Avon.
Yeah, 79 yards on the ground for the Eagles. Elder takes the snap. Cocks his arm, looking for someone in the end zone. They're all covered. Now he finally finds a man late, back of the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Caden Bennett got into the open. The junior makes the catch. Great job by the offensive line protecting Blake Elder. That makes it 20-0 Eagles. 9:32 to go here in the second quarter.
Dave, I was going to say the same thing. Chris Sawicki mentioned how they're pushing up front and creating that running game for Avon. They're also protecting really well because Elder had plenty of time as he drifted right, found a wide open receiver.
Here comes the kick from Petro. It is up and it is good. That makes it 21-0. 11 plays, 51 yards, 3:43 off the clock. And so a 21-0 Eagles lead as the defending champs have made an immediate statement in this Division II state championship game. Hey fans, if you have several social media options to connect with the OHSAA, they invite you to follow along. Follow us on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, where you'll find tournament updates, event announcements, videos, news from around the state, and much more. It's on the OHSAA social media network. We've got you covered each and every day at OHSAA Sports. Well, the Eagles about to kick off. Let's check in with Chris. And, man, you needed a sundial there to time how much time Elder had in the pocket.
Yeah, I counted Mississippi, and that is not something you generally get in a high school game, in a college game, in a pro game. It was a lot of time. And Elder took just enough time to get that pass away and complete it. I do want to say that, these teams always come up with slogans and mottos and things of that nature. On the back of the Anderson helmets, it simply says work wins. And that's something this team's going to obviously have to lean into for the next 3 quarters or so. But I love the fact that they have just devoted themselves to grinding it out week in and week out, day in and day out, no matter what comes their way.
Second straight appearance in the state championship game, so they have found some formula that works. Here's a return on the kickoff across the 25. Nice open field tackle on Weaver at about the 30-yard line. And the Eagle came knifing down there. It looked like that might have been Finn Jordanic on special teams coverage. So 21-0 Avon, and Matt, as we've mentioned earlier, this isn't your typical 3-touchdown deficit if you're a running-oriented team. This Anderson outfit, they're capable of being very explosive.
Yeah, and I think you take a deep breath, you calm down. Once again, to your point, no need to panic. Stick to what they do. Find a way to get some positive yards, some positive plays, and put some points on the board.
Owen Scaff, 10 of 14. He's back to throw. Fires a pass over the middle. Running catch at the 40-yard line and then tackled. Nicely done for about 11 yards. Trying to see who came up with that. I think it was Weaver, and he ended up under a pile of Eagles. Weaver with his 5th catch already. Vincent DiTilio made the tackle for the Eagles. Anderson moving the ball quickly. 1st and 10. Back to throw Scaff. Pressure is coming. He's rolling right. Fires a pass. It's caught midfield. And then down at about the 48-yard line. Late delivery there. Caught by Jordan Davis. His first appearance in the game as far as being involved in a play. That's his 72nd catch of the year. And that was good for a first down. Scaff throws. Pass caught. Far side. Weaver getting in and out of traffic and then outside the numbers near the 36-yard line. And right on cue, the Raptors moving the ball very quickly. That was Cooper Kathman who made that catch. Scaff back to throw again already. Pressure coming. He's out of the pocket. Throws. Coming back to try and help out the quarterback. Pass was dropped as Braden Moore tried to come back and help out, but he couldn't quite get to the spot to make a shoestring catch. I'll leave him at 2nd down and 10.
And I know it might not have been for a lot of yards, but, it could have been a couple. Who knows what would have happened. Drop ball and momentum just paused for a second.
Scaff fakes running, throws it to the outside. I think that was Jordan Davis again who made the catch. He's out of bounds. They force him out at the 33. So now 3rd down, about 7. What's on your mind here, Matt, as far as a play call?
I think you got to at least get half of it or so back, knowing you're going for it on all 4th downs going forward at this point.
He's back to throw in the shotgun. Runs out of the pocket, looking for some real estate. Throws a pass, goes out of bounds. So they're looking at 4th down, about 7 to go. Good coverage downfield by Avon. That was Caden Clapham guarding the intended target, Braden Moore.
And David Scaff had a chance to either run that football or extend it further. But to your point that you brought up, the coverage is tight. I mean, there's nowhere to go. But you could maybe take a chance, see if your guy can win over the defender, or you get a penalty. But Scaff just decided to throw it away and live to play 4th down here.
The defensive coordinator for the Avon Eagles is Jared Cicchetti, and he has drawn up a great game plan so far. 4th down, flag, delay of game. That's going to make it 4th and 12. So a 4th down, 12 to go for Anderson. For Anderson, the head coach, Evan Dreyer, is the offensive coordinator. And what a job he's done. 4th and 12. 8:27 to go before halftime. 21-0 Avon. Scaff in trouble. They got him around the waist. He is thrown down. It's a sack for the Avon Eagles. Lance Dawson. He read the mail, and he was in the backfield lickety-split, Matt.
I mean, faster than that, actually. And here's the problem. You're at 4th and 7. You might have a chance. You go to 4th and 12. The pressure's dialed up right away. You don't have time to get the ball out of your hands or even protect. And because of that, you turn the ball over. And once again, great field position for Avon. And quite honestly, you don't even want to say something like this, but I mean, you go up 28-0 with the defense that they have. You probably feel pretty darn good about where you stand if you're an Avon Eagle.
Lance Dawson committed to play football close to home for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Timeout on the field, 21-0 Avon. 8:21 to go, 2nd quarter. More to come from Canton after we pause for these messages from the OHSAA on the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Yes! Big money bet right there.
Dad, what's a big money bet? Can I do it?
Well, sweetie, betting is risky, so it's only for adults.
But I want to win money too.
I won this time, but I don't always win. That's why it's called gambling, and it's not for kids, okay?
Okay.
Let's just watch the game.
Youth who gamble are 4 times more likely to experience a gambling disorder as an adult. Be aware, check for risks, guide their choices, help prevent youth gambling. Visit ChangeTheGameOhio.org.
MaxPreps is your source for high school sports. From schedules to stats, live scores, rosters, video, and photos, MaxPreps has it all. And when you download the MaxPreps app, you can add your favorite teams and get notified on the go. Have your own personalized scoreboards and stay updated on the latest news surrounding your high school team. As a proud partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, MaxPreps wishes every student, athlete, and coach out there a very successful season.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in Ohio are safer than ever before. And that's something I really love.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Get state tournament photos, programs, apparel, DVDs, and more in the OHSAA Fan Guide. Find it at ohsaa.org.
8:21 to go in the second quarter. 21-0. Avon, they take over on downs. Let's check in with Chris real quick here as they take the field for this first play of the drive. But, Chris, that sack could be just a big momentum swing in this game.
Well, you were wondering out loud, why didn't Scaff take off on that play? As he was walking off the field, there was just a little bit of a limp, a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up. I'm wondering if maybe the cold hasn't exacerbated something or something along those lines, because he did. He had some wide open spaces to run and perhaps get the first down, and instead he pulled up and made a pass that he couldn't complete.
Well, first play stays on the ground, Keontae Smith, but he was tackled quickly by James Schnerstein, the senior linebacker, who comes into this championship game with 8.5 sacks on the year. But he snuffed out Smith that time. No gain, second down and 10. And he'll give it to Smith again. He jumps through a hole right in the middle and gets felled at about the 50. So that was a nice 6-yard gain on second down. Manageable third down and 4 as Tanner Holt made the stop for Cincinnati Anderson.
And this is an Anderson defense has been incredible all year, not giving up many points. They really need to look at each other at this point and get a stop. They got to stop on the opening drive after a first down, and since then it's been tough for them.
Avon approaching midfield, leading 21-0 in the D2 final. Frigid night here, 20 degrees in Canton. Eagles are moving right to left in their purple tops. Back to throw. Elder fires a long pass near side of the field, but it's off the fingertips of his intended target, Finn Jordanic, who already has 3 catches and a touchdown this evening. Elder 6 of 10, 108 yards. He has thrown 3 touchdown passes. That leaves it at fourth down. Here comes a punt. And it is kicked away by Sakura. And a very modest return to about the 22-yard line by Mark Madden. He was walled off by the Gunners very quickly. Nice punt by Sakura. And so Anderson holds. They get the ball back before they take over. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the OHSAA radio network.
WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren. We are AM 600, The Patriot, a Cumulus media station.
Don't forget, fans, coming up at halftime, Aaron Cassidy will be our host. And he'll be talking with Grady Kinsey, named earlier today Mr. Football for 2025. Pass caught on the first play by Cooper Kathman, but he is immediately wiped out by the Avon Eagles, Jerry Clements. The safety came up, and he wasn't having any of that, Matt.
No, not at all. And once again, I think that was the 14th completion, but all short plays.
Scaff fires a pass, diving catch, far side of the field. That is a good catch by Tegan Jalik. He had to come back a little for that ball. That was a long toss by Scaff there, right on cue.
Yeah, rolling out to his left, long comeback throw into the field, and just enough to get the completion.
He's back to throw already. There goes a pass, far side near the numbers, looking for Jalik, and he was well defended. Ball was a little low, so that's incomplete.
just tons of pressure, too. I mean, Scaff is getting, when he's...
Yeah, that was Dawson again in his grill.
I mean, every completion he's getting hit. And that, like Chris mentioned, that'll start to wear on you a little bit. You're cold, you're taking hits, things aren't going your way, guys are dropping balls, it starts to wear on you just a touch.
6:20 on the clock, second quarter. 21-0 Avon in the D2 final here in Canton. Rematch of last year. Avon won it 20-13. Screen pass to the right side. Nice running room. That was Davis. He got across the 50 to the 45 and dragged down maybe to the 44-yard line. Jordan Davis, he's got very soft hands. He can cradle that ball in on those screen passes, and then he wastes no time getting north-south. Nice pickup, first down, Scaff to throw. There it goes, far side of the field. It's caught. This could go for a touchdown to the 20, to the 10, 5. Knocked out of bounds on a last-second valiant effort. Cooper Kathman made the catch, shook a tackle, and then was prevented from getting into the end zone. The ball is at the 1-yard line. I could not catch who caught him, but he never gave up on the Eagle side. But Cincinnati Anderson with the ball on the doorstep now at the 1-yard line. Scaff will hand it to Jordan Davis. I think they kept him out. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Raptors.
David, on that previous play, big pass play, big completion. I'm telling you, game of inches. That thing was almost a pick six the other way. And I know when you tell the defensive back, you better get it if you're going to go for it. He thought he was going to get it and return it for 6, and instead he just missed it. Big play for the Raptors inside the 5.
Well, it's Stolarski who is hurt for Avon. He's shaken up on the play, so the training staff is out to take a look at Ryan Stolarski, one of their top linebackers, so hopefully he's all right. Goal line stand right now for Avon as they try to keep the shutout intact with 5:40 to go here in the second quarter. Friends, are you ready to make the call? Positions are always available when it comes to high school game officials. Officiating is a great way to stay in shape, remain close to the game, and contribute to the educational experiences of our student athletes. Signing up is easy. To get started and learn more, go to the officiating section of the OHSAA website at ohsaa.org/officiating. Stolarski's walking off. Let's check in with Chris, see if he could see what happened.
No, I didn't see what. Huge collision right down at the 1-yard line is what happened. There was a lot of contact. Jordan Davis came up a little gingerly for Anderson, Stolarski for Avon. Stolarski tried to turn around, sneak back in, and keep playing.
Saw that.
But he's got to sit out at least a play, so he's coming to the sideline reluctantly right now.
All right, ball at the 1 for Anderson. This would be a big boost for their confidence, having spotted Avon 3 touchdowns. Scaff has the lines down. He wants to run it. He'll get in. Quarterback keeper, Owen Scaff, punches it in. His 8th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raptors are on the board. It's 21-6.
Dave, this goes back to the stop by the defense, getting the ball back, and then what we talked about, Scaff and the offense taking a deep breath, relax, and knowing they have a chance to make a play and just get back in this ball game, because one score is enough to make you feel like you're close enough to strike, and they got it.
Maddox Snyder will try to kick it through. 7 plays, 77 yards. It only took 1:40. Here comes the extra point kick, and he made it. So 7 on the board for Cincinnati Anderson as they march downfield. Huge play there by Cooper Kathman on the big gainer, and then Scaff with the 1-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, and it was almost like it was a pass, but I think a design quarterback draw where he hesitated, let the line develop, get the push, and then that's where he got the 2 yards for the touchdown.
21-7 Avon. We have more football coming up tomorrow. I think 10:30 is the first kickoff. I think that's going to be the Division IV game. And so we'll have wall-to-wall football tomorrow and Saturday here on the OHSAA Radio Network.
And David, we haven't talked about this, but and I don't know if you're in the same boat, but I'm kind of the uniform police. I feel like Avon, this is like an LSU look, right?
Yeah, it
like,
sure does.
I mean, I can't help but think that they look exactly like LSU when they're at home, and then the Raptors out of Cincinnati has a little bit of a Bengals feel to it. Not a ton, but at least it's the black and the orange. But the LSU is like almost spot on.
Avon will get the ball back here. 2 men deep at the 5. And a short kick. Going to be caught at the 25-yard line. Out across the 30, maybe to the 34. And that's all the farther that's going to go. It was Finn Jardonic who caught that on a short kick and tackled by Ace Alston. Avon has had a chance to use up some clock here with their running attack, but they've mixed in the pass as well. Very balanced for Mike Elder and company this evening so far. 21 on the board. And
one thing Mike Elder mentioned when we talked to him before the game is, I love what he said this, is we work around our personnel. We don't have a system necessarily. We take advantage of what our people do, and you can tell tonight that's exactly how he's been calling the plays.
Wendell is in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. He bounces to the outside and has some speed, but they close him out. Anderson really strung that play out very well. He's tackled at about the 36-yard line. It was Brady Kuhn who led the charge and got plenty of help. Kuhn committed to West Point. There is a flag down. Or did they pick it up?
I couldn't tell if it was going to be a hold or...
Yep, it's a hold. And that's going to go against Avon. 5:06 on the clock, second quarter, working our way through the D2 final here in Canton.
And last time Avon got a hold, got behind the sticks this far, they actually overcame it, found their way into the end zone, didn't panic. They're in a little bit different territory and different part of the game here with a little bit more pressure.
They're on their own 24-yard line. That's Jordanic in motion. He'll get the pass, and he cannot turn it upfield. Caught at the 19-yard line. That is going to be a loss as Kuhn again tracked him down. Nicely done by the Raptors defensively on the last 2 plays, but they had that one sniffed out right away.
And here's the thing, Brady Kuhn, 6'3", 220. It's a real solid open field tackle. You got a shifty guy in front of you who can make you miss, and he just had a nice wide base, read his hips, and made a tackle.
Well, looking now at a 2nd down and 24 to go after that loss. Elder back to throw, stands in the pocket, fires a pass, caught at the 25, maybe to the 27-yard line. Jordanic, a little slow getting up. He took a big hit again. That was Reed Baker, the linebacker, 66 tackles and an all-conference first-teamer. And it looks like Jordanic is shaken up. Reed Baker, he's got some college offers. Mercyhurst, Fairmount State interested. Stops the clock with 3:58 to go as they take a look at Finn Jordanic, the 5'8 junior.
And he's really been the guy that Elder's been locking in when he needs him the most. Obviously on the touchdown passes, but a couple deep conversions for first downs, and even right there to get some room. Going to be interesting to see if he can come back.
4 catches for him on the night, 45 yards and a touchdown. They will need him back. He's starting to get up right now. Again, just very cold conditions this evening, which makes those hits feel a lot worse. Hey friends, Spectrum News 1 is the exclusive television home of the OHSAA State Football and Basketball Championships and is available exclusively to Spectrum subscribers across the state on Channel 1 and on all of your favorite devices. Check your local television listings for replays of this state championship contest. Streaming options are also available on the Spectrum News app. We're down to 19 degrees now, and it feels like 11, Matt.
I mean, we're up here somewhat covered, and I'm freezing. Yeah. I can't even imagine down there. I mean, this is Ohio football weather.
All right, 4:01. Jordanic came to the sideline. Elder back to throw. 3rd down and long. Over the middle. Man, wide open. It's caught at the 45. Out to the 50. That's 1st down yardage for the Avon Eagles. Grant Barr makes his first catch of the night. The senior with his 58th catch of the year. Kamari Tai finally got him to the turf, but he got into Anderson territory at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, nice job once again with protection. It's a great throw on a deep dig route. I mean, talk about a conversion there. 3rd and way long and no panic. Elder's doing a great job running this offense.
And he's in the shotgun right now. Takes the snap 5 yards deep. Hands it off to Cam Wendell. He's carrying Raptors with him as he gets across the 45 to the 44. A nice run of about 5 yards. 2nd down. And 5 to go. Nick Pastura, the defensive lineman, made the stop. Clock is stopped there. Not sure what's going on with the yard marker situation. Now they're going to move it. Looks like somebody might have lost a helmet or something. They're bringing off an offensive lineman. That's Caden Krugman, the right guard, who has to come off. Well, one thing about this, Matt, with Avon holding the lead and the ball, really whether they score here or not, I think they'd like to get this thing almost to halftime and not let Anderson have the ball back.
I agree. Just protect the football. That's something Blake Elder does really well.
Well, he drew him off sides here, so that's going to give him very close to a 1st down. That was Artie Schweiniger who jumped, got the flag, and I believe that will be a 1st down. They're moving the sticks. So the snap count drew them off. 3:03 on the clock, 21-7 Avon. We're in the D2 title game. There's Wendell again. Likes to run right and dives ahead as he got tripped up, maybe to the 36. 3-yard pickup. He hurdled a man over there.
He did, and there's once again, I'm going to go back to the line of scrimmage here, won by the Avon Eagles in this running game and the pass game, and they've got that center, Jack Fitch. He's leading the charge here and anchoring that offensive line.
Play action. Elder back to throw. Deep ball downfield on a post route, and it is caught. Touchdown, Avon Eagles. Grant Barr, 37 yards. Touchdown, Avon, 27-7, 2:18 to go. What a pitch and catch.
Oh, my goodness. And I was with you talking about, hey, let's just, if you're Avon, let's control the football. They take a shot down the field. Great coverage, great throw. I mean, sometimes the throw and catch just beat the coverage. And that's exactly what just happened for Avon.
It was Kamari Tai who was all over Barr. He made a great catch, great concentration. 2:18 to go before halftime, 27-7 Avon. Bad snap on the extra point, and they will not be able to even get the kick off the tee. Got away from the holder, Braden Moore. 8 plays, 66 yards, 2:56 off the clock. They settle for 6. It's a 20-point lead, 27-7. Grant Barr holds that one in. That's his 12th TD catch.
Elder took a huge shot after that throw. I mean, this is a deep post route. It took a second to develop. Offensive line doing a good job, but coming off his left side there, stood in there, made a throw, and took a big hit. But, man, there's no better feeling taking that hit and looking up and everyone going wild.
Grant Barr has been splitting time on defense as well due to some injuries, including Jacob Weatherspoon, who is one of their starting safeties, who's out. And so he's been doing it on both sides of the ball. Here he gets a catch in the state championship game, and Blake Elder has thrown 4 touchdown passes in the first half in this D2 final. Incredible.
It's funny because you heard Coach Elder talking about his son, how he's waited his turn and that sort of thing, and certainly humble and downplaying it, and he's done a good job. He's thrown quite a few touchdowns, but to have him come out in this first half and light it up the way he has, it's got to be special for for not only him, but for his dad as well.
9 of 13, 176 yards, 4 TDs. Here is Petro to kick it off. Tyson Weaver is back deep. We'll check in with Chris Sowecki, get his thoughts on that long pass coming up after the kickoff. Here it comes. 2:18 to go before halftime. A short kick. It'll be taken at about the 11. That's brought back across the 20, 25, out across the 30, maybe to the 34-yard line for Cincinnati Anderson. Mark Madden bringing it back. Let's check in with Chris.
You talked about that touchdown pass. Two things had to happen. Of course, Bryce Elder took a huge shot, but he put that ball right on the money, right in the basket, as they like to say. An incredible concentration by the receiver, who was draped all over by a defender. I will say this, if you don't think these coaches are intense, Coach Elder came over to a special teams guy and kind of gave him a hard time about that missed extra point. He's like, we could use that point a little later on. We've got to count everything.
Well, you never know. In a game like this, with these two high-powered offenses, when an extra point like that would come into play. We'll see. Now Avon with the lead of 20. Anderson would like to do something with his final 2 minutes. It's a completed pass to about the 32-yard line, a pickup of 2. That was Tyson Weaver. He was stopped in his tracks by the Eagles and Sammy Eulery. Avon, the defending champs, they're 13-1. Anderson, 14-0, vying for the Division II crown. Avon won it last year, 20-13 here on this field. Back to throw, Owen Scaff. Lofts a spiral to the left. Pass is caught, 40, down to the 30. Caught from behind. Big gainer. That was Tegan Jellick. They're going to hurry to the line. He got all the way to the 29-yard line. What a pickup. Scaff back to throw. Sets up, fires a line drive pass. This one is incomplete over the middle. Time he was looking for Cooper Kathman. That stops the clock with 1:49 to go. Coming up at halftime, Aaron Cassidy with Grady Kinsey, Mr. Football. Hope you'll stay tuned for that report. We'll have a look at the stats as well. 27-7. Avon leading, Anderson marching. They're moving left to right as Matt and I view the field. They'll snap it back to Scaff. He's in trouble. Blitz coming. He ran for it. Might have gotten a yard or two. He avoided the sack, Matt, but the pressure was all over him.
He's been feeling that this whole half, honestly. I mean, if anybody needs a half to sit down and take a break and maybe throw some ice or heat or whatever it is to warm himself up, it's going to be that quarterback for sure.
3rd down and 8 to go. Englehart made the stop. Here is the snap to Scaff. He's in trouble again. This time they're going to get him. He goes down in a sack. Lost about 2 yards there. A lot of Eagles in there. Englehart was there again, I think the first to wrap him up. 4th down. Boy, this defense coming up big right now. Under a minute to go in the second quarter. They line up to go for it. 4th down and 10 for the Anderson Raptors. They're within striking distance at the 29. Scaff in trouble, running for it. He is going to be wrapped up and hit hard at the 25-yard line. He took it from a couple of sides as the Eagles came in. Ryan Stolarski really hit him along with Lance Dawson. That will give it back to Avon on downs. 41 ticks left in the second quarter, and this Avon defense putting an impressive performance up right there.
They really have been. And honestly, talk about making the quarterback Owen Scaff uncomfortable. He's not. He's uncomfortable. And then he caught even with the decision to make. He knows it's 4th down. He probably wants to throw it because he knows he can't run for it, but just really having trouble making decisions, and the result is 27-7.
They will take a knee here. So Avon had 3 timeouts, but they're going to take a knee and get this one to the dressing room. 27-7. I don't think you could have potentially, in your wildest imagination, drawn up a better first half than Avon has put forth here in this first 2 quarters. Clock is running.
They've got to feel good about it. I mean, even the touchdown that they gave up, or the big play that led to the score with the touchdown, they were off by a smidgen, so they got to feel great.
4 big touchdown passes by Blake Elder. As these teams head to the dressing room, 27-7, the Avon Eagles leading Cincinnati Anderson. Let's go to Chris.
Thanks very much, fellas. I'm here with Coach Dreyer. Coach, talk a little bit about what happened. It seemed like the muffed punt kind of set things in motion.
Yeah, bad play on a momentum swing, and we didn't start out the game very well. We didn't do little discipline things, and that's got to be corrected, but we're not playing well. We played our worst quarter of football, and against a good team, and they make you pay for it for sure.
You are a high-powered offense. Coming back shouldn't be a challenge if you can get the offense rolling. What adjustments do you make here at the half?
So we get the ball coming out of half. We got to make this a game where just more plays, and we got to get going. We got to score within the first 8 to 10 plays, and let's just see if we can score and get this thing rolling a little bit.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Chris, thank you very much. Thanks to Evan Dreyer. Again, your score here at halftime, 27-7. The Avon Eagles looking to defend their 2024 state championship. Anderson will have something to say about that. As the coach mentioned, they'll have the ball to start the third quarter. Stay tuned. Our halftime show with Aaron Cassidy is coming right up. Let's pause for these messages from your local stations on the OHSAA radio network.
Here's to the ones who put in the work, the no days off, rise and grind warriors who live by the oath of my body is my temple. And when their temple needs to rebuild after a long workout, athletes of all types choose low-fat chocolate milk. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. Chocolate milk turns Motivation Monday into Flex Friday. Crush your goals with the help of a real recovery drink. Try it for yourself. Built with chocolate milk. The official beverage of high school sports is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back here at halftime, 27-7. Avon on top of Anderson here in our Division II state championship game, the 54th annual football state championships here in Ohio. Aaron Cassidy with you here at halftime. So glad that you've chosen to join us on this Thursday night. Joining us right now, we'll just jump right into it because he was here early. Doesn't surprise me. Grady Kenzie, Mr. Football 2025. And I say it doesn't surprise me because the young man shows up in a suit. All he does is score touchdowns and get a lot of yards over his career. Grady, congratulations. It's good to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How about a state championship on your resume, a Final Four on your resume, now a Mr. Football on your resume? Tell us a little bit about it. I know you got tricked into it a little bit about how you found out.
Yeah, it was actually a really funny story. So I had my signing day yesterday to the Air Force Academy, and I was texting my coach about that over the weekend, and I was still a little sour, and I still am a little sour about our loss on Friday in the semis. So he's texting me, and he's like, Grady, me and the athletic director, we're going to, Mr. Golick, we're going to come to your house and talk to you about this signing day. I'm like, Coach, I mean, I didn't say this to him, but in my head, I'm like, Coach, that's weird. Like, why do you want to come to my house? But he ended up doing it. I had to stop my workout and come outside. And he comes in, and my parents are standing there, and he's like, do your parents know why I'm here? And I'm like, yeah, it's for the signing day stuff. And he's like, no, I lied to you. You're the 2025 Mr. Football winner. And I'm like, oh man, it was pretty like a cool moment with my coach and my family. So it was pretty awesome.
Well, and we'll talk a little bit about stats and all that because they're eye-popping of what you have. But one of the things, I'll stay on this with the coach and the family and being close. From a small town, you're just the third Eastern Ohio player to win Mr. Football. What does that mean to you alone? I mean, Joe Burrow is one of them that won from Athens, and they consider that Eastern Ohio. I mean, not a lot of love necessarily. I think that part of the state's sometimes forgotten. What was it like for you to win it?
I mean, that's really something that I thought was awesome because a lot of people think it's not possible to go and win a state championship like we did last year, or go and be Mr. Football like we did this year. So it's really just a blessing, and I think that's one of the top takeaways I've been able to take away in my 4 years in high school is you can raise the bar just by belief and working towards that goal that you set. So we're just so blessed to be able to accomplish what we do, and it's really just an awesome experience.
And then to do it in the community that you do it with, you said, you play with all these guys that are seniors all your life, and your quarterback's grandpa was in your grandpa's wedding. I mean, it goes all the way back. But what was that like? If I told the 10-year-old Grady, hey, you're going to be Mr. Football, you're going to win a state title, you're going to have a Final Four on your resume, how cool would he thought that in backyard football at 10 years old?
I mean, he'd be pretty pumped up, I'll tell you that. What we do at Indian Valley and how our kids are just so bought in. And when I say kids, I'm not even just saying high school kids. Our young kids are asking for our players for signatures, and they send me pictures of them making us on the Xbox and playing.
How cool is that?
And I remember, it's so cool. And the coolest part is I remember doing it whenever I was their age, making our high school team on Madden or whatever. So it's really just awesome to see how that works full circle, and to be able to instill some belief and, some confidence in those young kids of like, you can go and win whatever award you want to win. You can go and, compete with whatever team you want to compete with and win whatever you want to win.
Anyone that spends about 10 minutes with you or 10 seconds knows the kind of young man that you are, and those little kids looking up to you. How conscious were you of, hey, the way I act out in the community and the way I do things, my 4.3 GPA, which, by the way, I thought was 4.25. You corrected me, 4.3 GPA. You're third in your class. How important are those things, not only for you, but to show those younger kids?
I mean, yeah, it's super important. And, like I said, we got 60 kids just like this. I mean, it's really what we do as far as, like, our coaches are all good dudes. They instill those types of values in us. Yeah. Our parents are all, friends and have been friends for generations. And we just have a bunch of good families in Indian Valley. So it's something that came first. And I think our football success has been built off of that, built off of people that are, hard workers, just good dudes, good women, and just people that are willing to sell out for football.
One of your soon-to-be teammates finishes second in the Mr. Ohio Football, and Braden DeVito from also will be going to Air Force from Shelby. Did you get a chance to talk to him very much? I mean, what was that process like? Just knowing when we started going through things, and I had Shelby for TV this year, I was like, they're getting 2 Mr. Football candidates at Air Force. That's impressive.
Yeah, so I actually know him pretty well. That's a good buddy of mine because both times I went out to the Air Force Academy for a visit, he was there at the same time, both in June and November. So we spent a lot of time together. And I watched one of his games this year whenever they played Galley, and I believe it was week 4. We had a bye week, so I went and watched him. And, I mean, you want an option quarterback.
Yeah.
There he is.
Not bad, right?
I mean, I see the way he runs and puts his foot in the ground, and the turf just kicks up like nothing you ever seen before, just because he's putting so much, into those cuts and into, running. So I mean, and he can throw the ball too. So yeah, I'm excited for my next 4 years, and we have a whole bunch of good players coming from. I mean, a lot of guys in Ohio and then, from all over. So I'm excited.
What was it that drew you to the Air Force Academy? Obviously, it's a service academy. And what kind of work do you know that is ahead of you?
What drew me was obviously, the great academics along with the great football.
Yeah.
There's, I think, whenever you weigh both those structures between military academies, compare them to MAC schools or Ivy League schools, I think, what the best of both worlds, military academies are where it's at. So I'm excited to get there. And what drew me was just the coaches. They're really great guys, and they're really guys that are genuine about caring about you and recruiting the kids that have the right characteristics that are going to build a positive football culture for them. Not only just great football players, but great dudes.
How about this? So, 27 over 2,700 yards, 42 touchdowns this year, 8,607 yards in your career, third all time in the state of Ohio rushing, 133 career touchdowns overall, and when I say those, and you think of the backs that have come through Ohio, does that ever hit? Has it hit you yet? Of I'm going to go down as one of the greatest backs in the state of Ohio history of rushing the football.
Yeah, I mean, that really is an honor. And it's one of the things, the more you get closer to it and the more you do it, the more touchdowns you score, it's almost, I don't want to say it's the less you care, but it's the more you appreciate moments that aren't necessarily hitting a certain mark of 100 touchdowns or 130 touchdowns or something like that. It's more like the moments of great energy and just some fire you feel on the football field with your guys that you've played with your whole life. That's the type of moments that I'll cherish over, let's say, breaking the record or something.
Yeah. Aaron Cassidy with Grady Kenzie here on at halftime, 27-7. Our halftime score. Avon on top of Anderson. We'll get you out of here with two final questions. First of all, maybe a statement more. So I know one of the things you're most proud of is your linebacker play this year and how much it's improved, 120 tackles. So defensively, you really stepped up. Just touch on that real quick.
I mean, last year we had a senior graduate, Jackson Bircher, who's an absolute stud. So somebody had to come up and fill those shoes. So I think I really started to take a little bit more pride of being a great communicator on defense, and not only that, but reading my keys, taking coaching, and not just being a one-trick pony of running the ball, but also be a difference maker, playing linebacker.
We've got about a minute here. 133 career touchdowns overall. This is going to be hard for you, but I have a feeling we might have one that was on this field. Do you have a favorite touchdown that you scored?
It's funny because it was right down there. It was the last touchdown of that Sandusky-Perkins game in the state championship. It was I was kind of almost down at the 1 yard line, and then our stud left tackle, David Stryker, comes in and tries to push me into the end zone, and in doing that, knocks the ball loose. And then I'm like, oh, crap, we just lost the game. But then I look down, and this ball's loose right here. I grab it, pull it into the end zone, touchdown. They have to review it. They call it a touchdown, then we go on and we get a stop, and we won the state championship. It was awesome.
Well, Grady, thank you so much for taking some time with us. Congratulations on the 2025 Mr. Football. And anyone in this press box might want to get your autograph or shake your hand, because I have a feeling if you want to go into politics, you could be president one day. Impressive young man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, our halftime score, 27-7. Avon on top of Anderson. Halftime festivities continue, but let's first pause for these messages from the Ohio High School Athletic Association. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
In school sports, it's easy to see the wins, the moments that make headlines. But there's so much work that goes unseen for any of it to happen. My name is Phil Risen, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Throughout the country, athletic administrators dedicate countless hours to making life-changing opportunities possible for student athletes through sports. Their sacrifice is fueled by the belief that every student can grow and deserves their time to shine. On behalf of the NIAAA, we want to thank every athletic administrator for your tireless dedication to providing 7.8 million students across the country a path to a better future.
This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
EA Graphics is the official state tournament merchandise partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. EA Graphics is on-site at OHSAA tournament contests with t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and many other apparel items. And it doesn't end when the tournament is over. Check out OHSAA tournament merchandise online at shopohsaa.com. That's shopohsaa.com. EA Graphics and the OHSAA. Wear a piece of history.
Health Action Council is a member-driven, not-for-profit organization that provides employers with best practices for a healthy workforce through leadership, innovative services, and collaboration. Health Action Council works with employers to improve the quality, cost, and value of healthcare. The Ohio High School Athletic Association and Health Action Council invite all Ohio schools to join us for the Healthy Kids Steppin' Up Challenge. Find out details at healthykidsgo.org.
Hey, this is Kirk Herbstreit from ESPN, and you're listening to the State Football Championships on the OHSAA Radio Network.
Back here at halftime, 27-7, our halftime score. It's Avon on top of Anderson. It was an interesting first half. Avon jumped on them early. Anderson got back on the board, started battling back. Avon, though, answers back with a big touchdown. So we'll look at first half statistics here. First downs, pretty even between the two teams. 12 for Cincinnati Anderson, 13 for Avon. They ran 20 plays, or 20 rushing plays, did Avon. They had 85 yards, 13 rushes for 17 yards. That was something that Anderson struggled last week in their Final Four game, although they were able to get things going in the pass game. Total passing yards, 219 for Anderson, 176 for Avon. Anderson's 19 of 27 throwing the football, 9 of 13 for Avon. Total yardage, 40 plays run by Anderson for 202 yards. Avon, 33 plays for 261. Time of possession, 14 minutes for Avon, 9 minutes and 19 seconds for Anderson. 1 of 6 on third downs. That's something I always like to look at in these high school games. Third down conversions. 1 of 6 for Cincinnati Anderson, 4 of 6 for Avon. And then, of course, Anderson also 0 of 4 on their fourth down conversions, a team that doesn't punt a lot to begin with. And Avon has not gone for it on fourth down. Individual, Owen Scaff, 10 carries, 18 yards on the night for Cincinnati Anderson. He's also, again, 19 of 27 for 219 yards throwing the football. He has been sacked 44 times. And then it was Weaver, his intended or his favorite receiver, 6 catches for 46 yards. Kathman had 5 catches for 70 yards. And Jalek had 4 catches for 64 yards. So, again, they're moving the ball a little bit through the air. Jadornik, the leading receiver for Avon, 4 catches for 45 yards. Actually, Grant Barr had 2 catches for 61 yards in that first half for Avon. Smith rushed the ball 13 times for 62 yards. He had a long of 14, averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Blake Elder, 9 of 13 for 176 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns. He's been clean back there in the pocket. He has not been sacked yet. Scoring drives that happens and started in the first quarter, 7 minutes and 16 seconds into the game, or with time remaining in the first quarter. It was Avon striking first. And then at the 2:39 mark, so just 5 minutes later, they got on the board again. Started the second quarter pretty strong as well, 9:32 in the quarter. Bennett caught a pass from Elder, made it 20-0 at that point. Elder got on the board with a Scaff rushing touchdown. That drive was 7 plays for 77 yards. They did it in 1:36, and then late in the second half at 2:18, Barr caught a pass from Elder, and it was for 39 yards. So that drive was 6 plays for 66 yards, 2 minutes and 56 seconds. So it got wild towards the end of that first half in the second quarter between these two teams. Again, a rematch of these two teams. taking a look at the weekends, it's going to be a fun one. Again, our halftime score 27-7, Avon on top of Anderson. But we kick things off here in the 54th annual on a Thursday night. We roll into a Friday morning tomorrow at 10:30. It'll be Shelby and Glenville. That will decide the Division 4 state championship. Watterson, Toledo Central Catholic. Let's do that for a third time. That is in Division 3 at 3 o'clock. 7:30, Olentangy Orange, St. Xavier. That is going to be the fun one as well. That's the D1 game at 7:30 tomorrow night. Saturday, we wrap things off with 3 games. 10:30, it'll be Hillsdale and St. Henry. 3 o'clock, Hopewell London takes on Kirtland. That is the Division 6 state championship. And then Liberty Center and Wheelersburg in the final in Division 5, 7:30 on Saturday. So, again, 27-7, our halftime score. Avon on top of Anderson. Aaron Cassidy with you here at halftime. And it's been an impressive performance by this Anderson team, or from this Avon team, defensively, and then holding those 4 fourth downs. That's kind of how they've been able to flip the field and score on offense. And then, again, answering back when Anderson gets on the board and cuts it to a couple touchdowns, they respond with a big 39-yard touchdown pass to answer back. And so we are getting close to the start of the second half. But first, let's remind fans that this broadcast is a presentation of the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network. Any commercial use, retransmission, or distribution without the express written consent of the OHSAA is strictly prohibited. The announcers and production staff for this game were selected by the OHSAA. And satellite distribution is provided by Skyview Networks. For more information, log on to the OHSAA Radio Network, ohsaa.org. All right, second half action around the corner. David Wilson, Matt DeRazio, Chris Solwicki when we come back. But first, let's pause for these messages from your local station. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network.
WRQX.
Welcome to the home of Gridiron Legends, the
We
newly renovated Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Walk among the immortals of football inside the Hall of Fame gallery. Here you can stand face to face with the men who built America's game. Relive the greatest moments of Super Bowl history in the Lamar Hunt Super Bowl gallery and stand before the Vince Lombardi Trophy. While the NFL Today gallery is home to the NFL's most recent record-breaking moments. Plan your visit to the Pro Football Hall of Fame today at profootballhof.com.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Ohio are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Being a teenager is tough. There's the constant pressure to be liked.
Endless worrying about college.
Cyberbullying, high expectations, all the negativity. There's no question. Being a teenager is tough. And what do Ohio's teens do when they want to block out the noise and clear their heads?
We play! Yeah!
Research shows that teenagers who participate in high school sports have lower stress levels, more confidence, and greater self-esteem. And then there's the biggest benefit of all. High school sports are fun.
Not just fun.
They're a lot of fun. Encourage your teenagers to participate in a sport or activity when they go to high school. They'll stress less and smile more. And they'll be laying the foundation for a happier, healthier future.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to Canton's Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium on this frigid night. It's the Thursday opener of the 54th annual OHSAA Football State Championship weekend. The first of 7 big games coming your way here on the OHSAA Radio Network. Your score here at halftime, 27-7. Avon leading Cincinnati Anderson. It is the Northeastern Ohio against Southwestern Ohio tonight. 2 teams from opposite ends of the Buckeye State, rejoined by Matt DeRazio, and this Avon Eagles team led by Blake Elder, who was 9 of 13 in that first half, Matt, 176 yards, 4 touchdown strikes, and he had pinpoint accuracy on those touchdown passes.
It's funny. There's a reason why I think he performed the way he did in that first half, and Coach Elder mentioned it. Since he's been in about the 4th grade, he's been in the Final Four locker room, and then then as a sophomore, and then as a junior, so he's been around this. It's nothing new to him, and the first half showed how he could just come out, stay calm, lead the team, make big throws when they needed to, and put them in a great position. The key is, can you do it for 2 halves? And that's something where you've seen teams before. Dave, you've been around a ton of football. 27-7 seems like, okay, this thing's over. And then all of a sudden the other team shows up and things go, a bad bounce. And this thing's far from over. And it'll all depend on a couple drives leading to it. But right now he's looking like he's ready to go.
All right, let's check in with Chris Sowecki, who is on the sideline. And Chris, Avon with a great first half, but Cincinnati Anderson, they are very capable of making their own breaks. All right, we'll check in with Chris again momentarily. This is a very resourceful Anderson team. One thing that stands out to me on the stat sheet, Matt, negative 17 rushing yards. You go back to that 23-yard loss on the bad snap on sort of a quasi punt on 4th down. The formation was a little off. They had a wide receiver in. Nick Rosello was setting up to punt. We thought for a moment it was Scaff who had gone back there, but it went over his head for a 23-yard loss. They've never been able to get anything going on the ground. I don't know if that's going to be part of the plan here, down 20. But negative 17, that's never a pretty number.
No, and I don't think they rely heavily on the run. I think it's at times, the right amount, the right dose of it. And usually it's with Scaff as there's some quarterback stuff as they spread them out. But to your point, it's going to be limited because they've got to get on the ball as they normally do, move the football, get out of bounds, score as quickly as they possibly can, try to get this thing wrangled in a little bit so they can start to make some plays.
Yeah, well, Jordan Davis is the guy who would do the bulk of the running. We've seen him catch some passes in the first half, but he's only carried it 2 times for 3 yards. He has 21 rushing touchdowns on the year. But you're right, they're kind of in a position now where that may not be the safest option because they are going to need to preserve as much time as possible.
And Coach Dreyer mentioned at the end of the half, they've got about 8 to 10 plays where they want to score, which is probably normal for them as they're coming out in the second half. That's probably nothing that's unusual, but they know the sense of urgency around the fact that they can't mess around and they cannot waste possessions. They've got to score in every possession in this half.
They are going to get it to start play in the third quarter. We're glad you're with us tonight for state championship football here on the radio. We appreciate your listenership all around the state. And all of you listening online, 27-7 Avon. D2 championship, third quarter underway. This ball is going to go back into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Tyson Weaver wanted to bring it out, but that is not the rule in high school football. So the Anderson Raptors, 14-0. They have 2 quarters to try and get things on track if they want to unseat the Avon Eagles atop D2 football.
And we'll go back to the basics. Reads, throws, catch, secure the football, extra yards if you can. If not, let's get the ball back onto the line of scrimmage and run another one.
Well, here's that spread formation. Scaff has the ball. Fires a pass. It's caught at the 20. And that goes to the 25, down to the 30, and Weaver out of bounds over on the far side of the field. He made a nice move, bought some extra space, and gets out to the 34-yard line. Nice pickup on the first play. 1st and 10, Anderson at their own 34-yard line. They're already back to the line of scrimmage. Scaff pump fakes right, now looks left, fires a pass, and it is caught on a dive just short of the 50-yard line by Grant Barr. Barr had a nice first half. Caught a touchdown pass. I'm looking at the wrong side. Here's the snap back to Scaff. And he tries to run it. It was a low snap. I think that might have been a busted play. And that might be a 1-yard loss. Previous catch was made by Tegan Jalik. And now there's a flag down as they were never really able to get Scaff to the ground. And there's a lot of pushing and shoving.
Wow.
That's going to go against Anderson. Mike Windsor, the right guard, drew the flag on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's going to be a walk-off against the Raptors. That's exactly what Evan Dreyer and company did not want to see.
I thought it was a little extra on the quarterback. They didn't call it, and so the offensive lineman sticking up for Scaff, give him a little shove. I don't know if it warranted a penalty, but certainly not ideal for the Raptors at this point.
All the way back to the 31. Long second down. Scaff unleashes a pass, and it is caught in space at the 45-yard line. And down to the 40, down close to the 36-yard line. They get all of that yardage back. It was Tyson Weaver who made the catch and the run. There's an injured Eagle as Jerry Clements is down in the defensive backfield. But after the 15-yard walk-off all the way to the 31, it's I'll try to add it up here. It looks like about a 29, 32-yard strike.
It's a great throw by Scaff. Stays in the pocket, slides to his left. Honestly, he makes the throw over one of his own receivers to the next level. It almost looked like he overthrew the shorter route, but he was pinpoint accuracy on the skinny post. Big gainer. I mean, obviously after the penalty and the personal foul, you think, oh my goodness, can we do this? And they come back next play, big first down.
Yeah, Weaver found the soft spot out there. Again, he comes into the game, 80 catches. Let's check in with Chris here. He's back.
Yeah, Weaver did a great job. He caught the ball short of the line to gain, and then he did his best Fred Astaire and tap danced his way through a couple of defenders in order to get that first down. When we talked to Coach Dreyer before they went into the locker room, he said, we've got to score on the first 6 or 7 plays. That penalty put them behind the chains, but only for a moment. They are in good shape right now on the 38-yard line.
They'll set up in Eagles territory. Lines are down. Scaff, empty backfield, 5 receivers. He has the ball. Pressure is coming. Throws. Pass is caught. 25. Down close to the 20-yard line. Hauled in by Cooper Kathman. And Scaff just picking apart the defense right now. That's about a 16-yard strike to the 21. They're ready to go again. Scaff back to throw. There it goes. Back corner of the end zone. Pass knocked away at the last second. Great defense by the Avon defensive back Trevor Maley, the 5'10 senior with the PBU pass breakup.
And I'll tell you what, looked like he was beat bad on the corner route, but he never gave up, put his head down, and put his arm out the last second to knock the ball away. Looked like it was going to be a touchdown for the Raptors, and Maley never gave up.
Ball still on the 21-yard line. Center Quinn Gajan ready to snap it back to Scaff. Jordan Davis is in. He's blocking. Scaff steps up in the pocket. They've got him. He is surrounded. He's forced down to the turf in a sack. The Avon Eagles defense again swarms. Jerry Clements, who had been shaken up earlier, got the sack there. So the safety came up to get him. That'll make it 3rd down and 11 on the 1-yard loss. The ball at the 22. Scaff throws left. Pass is caught. Got to about the 12-yard line. That's going to be close to a 10-yard pickup. I think it'll be short of the first down, though. Pass was caught by Tegan Jalik. He's having a nice game. That's pass catch number 6 for him.
Dave,
4th down and 1, Matt.
I'm sorry, Dave. I think you got to move the pocket because of the pressure. Give Scaff a chance.
Davis gets set on the left hip of Scaff. Plenty of time on the play clock. Scaff is trying to get the play. He can't hear. One of the receivers comes over and tells Scaff what the play is. Now 7 on the play clock. He's waiting on the snap. He has it, throws a pass, caught at the 10, first down. It's going to go for a touchdown. All the way to the end zone. Pass was caught. It is a touchdown for Cincinnati Anderson's Braden Moore.
Wow. David, I got to tell you, I'm up here signaling for timeout. This is the biggest play of the game. It's 4th and 2. If you don't get this thing might be over. Scaff, calm as a cucumber there, dials it up, doesn't seem to know what's going on, and all of a sudden throws the quick little bubble screen right up the middle, catches the ball untouched, 7 points, or 6.
It goes for 12 yards. And here is the point after kick. It is blocked. It was blocked by Avon. They'll settle for 6. 27-13. 9:23 to go here in the third quarter. Boy, that was some kind of a catch and run by Braden Moore as we see the replay on the big board. Avon will get the ball back, but what a 4th down conversion. You go all the way to pay dirt.
There you go, and they call it's like a little tunnel screen from the outside receiver, and Tripp's coming in, and then he's got 2 blockers ahead of him. They all receivers who can block.
WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren.
Receivers, and that's what happens. But once again, Coach Dreyer mentioned we've got to score on the first drive coming out. I don't know how many plays it was. You'll know here in a second. But he said 8 to 10. I don't know if he nailed it or not, but either way, he'll take it if it was 12 because it's 6 points.
Well, before Avon takes the kickoff, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the OHSAA Radio Network.
WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren. We are AM 600, The Patriot, a Cumulus media station.
9:23 on the clock. That was a 9-play, 80-yard drive. Matt, 5:37 off the clock. The extra point failed. 27-13. Here's a short kick. It's going to bounce at about the 23, taken on one hop by the Eagles. Middle of the field, 25, 30, 35-yard line, and that was it. That was brought back by Caden Bennett. Pretty nice return there as he veered back to the middle of the field. Here come the Eagles now. And the name of the game for them right now, Matt, is just ball control.
Ball control, and then here's something, too, that you've got to try to avoid, and I don't know if they do it, is trying to get too conservative. Like, obviously, if you're Avon, you want to first downs, move the ball, but still be aggressive. They've had some big plays and some big shots down the field. I don't think you get away from that.
We'll check in with Chris momentarily. Here's a running play. Keontae Smith. He was pretty impressive in the first half, and his first carry of this second half goes for about 12 yards. Let's check in with Chris Sowecki.
Yeah, right there at the start of the second half, Coach Mike Elder was walking up and down, I should say stalking up and down his sideline, looking every one of his players in the eye and saying, listen, we got to lock in right now. He's a little worried, maybe coming out with a little bit of a letdown. That looked like defensively, but offensively they are ready to go because number 7, nice run that time. I'm also happy to announce, fellas, that the guys who had their shirts off have thought better of it.
Are they at urgent care? Is that what you were going to say? Because I was wondering how close the local hospital was.
I think they just put some stuff on. Thank goodness.
Good for them.
Well, back-to-back carries here by Keontae Smith. He runs into first down territory. And he's on the Anderson side of the field now at the 43-yard line. So a couple of really nice plays on the ground by Keontae Smith. They're going to take their time here.
And Avon started that drive in the Wildcat, which, Elder on the side here. Obviously, it was short-lived, but maybe it's something they think about, as you mentioned, try to control in the football.
He's under center right now, and we've got a flag. Maybe a false start against Avon here. Clock stops with 8:11 on the clock. We're in the third quarter in the D2 state final. 3 big games coming up tomorrow, starting at 10:30 with D4. I believe that's Glenville and Shelby. That'll get the day started. Watterson, Toledo Central Catholic at 3. The late game tomorrow, the D1 final, Olentangy Orange and St. X. Keontae Smith burrows straight ahead into a thicket of defenders. Nowhere to run there. They knock him down at the 46-yard line. He might have picked up one. Reed Baker on the stop for Cincinnati Anderson. The Raptors have a little bit of momentum on their side. They scored in their first possession here in the third quarter. 7:40 and counting, third quarter.
And Avon taking their time. Substitutions coming on and off the football field. Play clock is running down, but they definitely want to get into play. It's going to be best for them at this point.
We have three receivers stacked on the left. Elder is back to throw. Let's go a pass, and it's caught among double coverage near the 35-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down. No, they say you got it. That's all the way to the 32. That was a favorable spot. Forward progress. It was caught by Grant Barr. Caught that nice touchdown pass.
He's a big target coming over the middle. He's done a great job connecting him and Elder. A little bit of coverage there, not a ton of separation. Elder did a good job fitting in there for the first down.
He's got some colleges interested in his services as well. There's Keontae Smith. Shakes a tackle. Plows forward. Gets close to the 26-yard line. It's going to be good for about 6 yards. They continue to eat up some clock here and some yardage. Trying to untangle that pile. And one thing about this, they are taking a lot of time in between plays, Matt, and that's a strategic move. But even though they're not the type of tempo that Anderson runs, they still are kind of a hurry-up team. It's almost like kind of running the prevent defense in reverse if you're just taking this much time.
Yep.
Tight formation here. Back to throw Elder. He'll go right, looking for Barr. It was tipped away.
Tried a back shoulder throw there. It almost got a little dicey as Elder tried to fit it in. Not a bad idea, but once again can put the defender in a spot where he can make a play, and it looked like that almost happened. Could have maybe even been a pick there, but Elder got away with one.
Kamari Ty is the one that knocked that away. Ty, a Fordham University commit. 6:16 on the clock, third quarter, 27-13. Avon. Elder hands it off to Keontae Smith running left, then tried to reverse direction, and they wrapped him up. That was third down, about 4. It's going to stay 4 to go. That was not a smooth handoff. I'm not sure if it was a busted play, but it threw off the timing for sure. I think Ryland Dean got in there. Fourth down, they'll go for it. 4th and 4. Football on the 26-yard line. Elder trying to draw him off. That would give him a first down. 4 men ready to come charging for Anderson. They'll snap it back to Elder on 4th down. Fires a pass over the middle. It's incomplete. Anderson will take over as their defense holds. That pass came in hot, looking over the middle for the tight end. And it was broken up nicely by Kamari Ty. And so the Anderson Raptors hold. They'll take over down by a margin of 14 points. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 5:26 to go third quarter. Let's pause for these messages from our friends at the OHSAA. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
You may think seatbelt laws are no big deal. Well, you couldn't be more wrong. Cops are cracking down day and night, in the city, in the country, and all points in between. Make no mistake, if you don't buckle up, you will get caught, and you will get a ticket. Even if you've gotten away with not buckling in the past, things are about to change. Cops are serious about seatbelt safety, so don't kid yourself. Buckle up every time, or get a ticket. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who play high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You can stay in the game long after your playing days are done. Become an OHSAA contest official. Log on to OHSAA.org for more information.
5:26 to go, third quarter here in Canton. D2 final. Avon 27, Anderson 13. Friends, when life calls an unexpected blitz, you need a team that's got your back. Morgan & Morgan is the firm in your huddle. Protecting players, parents, and fans across the Buckeye State anytime, anywhere. Dial pound law. That's pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people. Well, Anderson fired up here. They got the ball back now at the 26-yard line in their own territory. Owen Scaff and company back to work. The junior quarterback has been dynamite. Now it might have been movement on the right side of the line. I think they got the right tackle, Peyton Rezor.
And we know that because he did a couple more push-ups, and that's the second time tonight that he's done that and gotten down and given a few. Now he's really got to lock in because those 5 yards are precious yards.
Ball back to the 21-yard line now. Scaff rolls right, looking to throw. Got a nice block and a long toss downfield, incomplete. Jordan Davis threw a great block to buy Scaff some time. He was looking downfield for Braden Moore. He was well defended by Caden Clapham. Scaff now, Matt, 25 of 35, 316 yards.
Yeah, right there he had a chance where they were rolling him out to the right. He stepped up nice, but did not run it.
He's back to throw. Pressure coming. He's feeling it. Rolls back a little further. Throws a pass, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by the Avon Eagles. Low throw. Diving interception by Jarrell Fenton, the corner. A late decision and an ill-advised one here by Scaff. And again, it was the pressure as the pocket was breaking down. And Fenton jumped the route. Avon takes over at the Anderson 26-yard line.
And the crazy part is Scaff did a good job moving around the pocket. He had some pressure. He kind of reversed back out, gained some more time, and then just hit the panic button and threw it. And didn't need to. His receiver was running vertical. The DB was watching Scaff's eyes. He stopped, put on the brakes, came back and made a nice play.
All right, so that play may be challenged here. I think they're going to review it.
Oh, wow.
On whether that ball hit the turf. So we'll have a break in the action here for a review with 5:12 remaining in the third quarter. Showing it on the big board right now. I think the question will be if the ball came loose when he hit the turf. I don't believe it did, Matt, just judging from what I'm seeing here. But they'll slow it down and take a look if he lost control of it.
Well, when he rolls over, it's hard, you know.
Let's check in with Chris Zolwecki, see what his vantage point was.
Yeah, it's the same thing from what you're saying up there. It looked like the catch was made. If it was bobbled, it was really hard to see. I don't think a camera angle picked it up, so I don't think this is going to be overturned. I think it's going to be stay the interception on the field.
Total plays right now, favor Anderson 51-41. Total yards favors Avon 305-297.
Wow.
So pretty even Steven there, but the scoreboard shows Avon in front 27-13. Well, it stays as an interception. This could be a massive break for Avon if they're able to cash in. We saw them be very opportunistic in the first half, Matt.
Yeah, and the good news is Chris Sawicki's 1 for 1. He's batting 1,000 and not shocked about that. He's right there. He's on the call. He makes the right call. Now Avon's got a chance to essentially turn this into something huge, score again, and get out of this quarter with potentially a 3-touchdown lead.
Blake Elder has already thrown 4 touchdown passes. He's 10 of 16 on the night. Elder, the senior, takes the snap. Keontae Smith running it over the left tackle, hit a wall, got driven back. They'll give him the 24-yard line. That's a 2-yard pickup for Keontae Smith. Reed Baker on the stop. He's had a nice night so far, all ECC first team. Rematch of the 24 final, won by Avon. Avon is a one-time runner-up in the championship game. That was way back in 2011 when they lost to Trotwood Madison 42-28. Elder under center. 2nd down, 8 to go. Handoff, Smith running straight ahead. Got to the 15 and grabbed there and driven backward by the Raptors. They never got him to the turf. But a nice job on the sprint by Keontae Smith.
And he has been solid all night. Once again, the vision and then the speed through the hole. Just enough for the first down when forward momentum stopped. And I'm telling you, he's been a weapon tonight.
They needed 8. He got 8. The ball is at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 in the red zone for Avon. They lead it by 14. Under 4 to go, 3rd quarter. Elder to Smith. Got to the 10, running straight ahead. Spinning around. Grabbed and forced down to the turf by Mark Madden. The safety finally got him down. He's close to the first down marker. I'm going to mark him back a couple of yards. Ball's going to be on the 8. They can get a first down at the 5. So they're looking at about a 2nd and 3.
And if you're Elder, here's where, and I know he's been doing a good job of this, but you're thinking, take care of the football, remind the guys the same thing, because those are the only things right now that can derail you at this point, because they're moving the football. The offensive line has been incredible, and they're really grinding Anderson at this point.
Under center, Keontae Smith running straight ahead. Nothing fancy, right in between the tackles. Again, they push him back, unable to tackle him. Mark Madden again leading the charge for the Raptors. This possession was set up on an interception. We have 2:48 on the clock, 3rd quarter.
Do you kick? Do you get aggressive knowing maybe you can take 3 points? And, I don't know. I'm trying to, not that you want to be conservative, but if you can extend this just to 3 scores or 3 possessions, that's what you need. So big call here on 3rd down.
Smith lines up directly behind Elder. Man in motion. They put it in the hands of Keontae Smith. They cut him down. He didn't get there. It's going to be 4th and 1. 4th and 1 at the 6-yard line. Nicely done by Landon Edwards, the defensive tackle. The senior made a big stop. Well, it's 4th and maybe a yard and a half here. They need to get to the 5. The football is almost back at the 7.
Yeah, this is, I have a feeling clock's going to run, think about it, call timeout, one of those ones, I'm not sure, or maybe they've decided, and this could be the ball game here, let's go get it if you're the Avon Eagles.
Elder takes the snap. They go to Smith. He hurdles over the initial line of scrimmage and then powers his way into the end zone. What a leap by Keontae Smith. It's a 7-yard touchdown run. The Eagles extend the lead 33-13, 1:38 to go in the third quarter. They rolled the dice and came up with a 7, number 7.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, no hesitation when you got a guy like that, and he can not only get you the touchdown, but in the process, jump over a pile, stick the landing, and finish the run.
Here comes the PAT. The convert kick is up and good, 34-13. 1:38 to go. That was a 6-play, 26-yard drive after the interception. It took 3 minutes and 22 seconds. We want to welcome all those of you listening along the network lines, including our affiliate in Ironton, WIRO 106.7 FM. In Jackson, WYPC 105.3. In Lima, our great affiliate of many years, WIMA 1150 AM. In Mansfield and Ashland, WNCO, Fox Sports 1340. And in Marion, WMRN 1490 AM. We thank all of our great stations and all of you listening around the state this evening. This great Division II championship football game, 1:38 on the clock. Third quarter, long way to go, but the interception, and you think back a little further, the bad snap on the punt. That has been a 14-point early Christmas present for the Avon Eagles.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, I coming off of last year and you lose by 7 points in a snowstorm, probably thinking of all the plays. This one, man, an early special teams error and just never really have been able to dig their way out of it. Now there's still plenty of time. They've got to score in, once again, 5 to 8 plays on this possession.
From the 5 to the 10 on the kickoff return, 20, 25, 30. There's a wall to the 40, 45, 50. Man still on his feet. To the 40-yard line, they finally got him down. Cincinnati Anderson's Mark Madden with an incredible return and puts the Raptors in great field position at the 39-yard line.
That is helpful. Reverse fields, used his speed, and a stiff arm at the end.
Broke a couple of tackles, and then they finally surrounded him, but incredible run, and now Anderson with a shot in the arm, but they are down 34-13. 21-point deficit, 1:25 to go third quarter. Back to throw, Owen Scaff. He fires on the run and misfires. Incomplete pass out into the flat, looking for Braden Moore. Owen Scaff in the regular season, over 4,500 yards. Let's check in with Chris here, going back to that touchdown run by Keontae Smith. That was a great leap to get over the defensive lineman.
No doubt. Very impressive individual effort as this football game goes on. And you talk about the second half has been an emotional roller coaster, especially for Anderson. They come out and make a stop, but then and now they've given up a score. So it's been a lot of excitement followed by dread for this Anderson Raptor team in this third quarter.
Now this time, Tyson Weaver had a pass go off his fingertips. Incompletion. So it's a third down and 10 to go. Ball is at the 39-yard line. 2 incompleted passes. 3rd and 10 for Anderson. Back to throw Scaff. Pressure is coming. He steps up through the pocket, goes to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Still on his feet, dives forward. They grab him around the ankles. He's down at around the 17-yard line. 22 yards on the quarterback run. Avon got him down with Sammy Eulery finally catching him from behind.
Good quick decision by the quarterback there and using his legs, getting the first down.
Scaff gets rid of it quickly to Jordan Davis out of the backfield to the 19. Shakes a tackle. He's trying to make his way back upfield, but they shove him over the boundary line back at the 21. That's going to go for a loss. They say at the 20, so that's a loss of 3.
And the best part about that play for Anderson was that getting out of bounds, honestly. I mean, time is precious at this point. Can't waste yards or time.
Jerry Clements finally rode him out of bounds. Here's a pass by Scaff. Davis catches it back at the 22. It's another loss. That time, Trevor Maley came in and made the stop for negative yardage.
This defense is, although they're being tested in lots of plays, stretch side to side, they are flying around and they're answering the call here.
We have 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Owen Scaff with the snap, throws a pass. It's caught. Man open at the 5 and then tripped up, maybe at the 4-yard line.
What a throw by Scaff. I mean,
Tyson Weaver made the catch, Matt, and then stumbled kind of forward, got inside the 5. Incredible grab. Scaff quickly wants to run it, trying to get to the goal line, but he's cut down at about the 2, and that'll probably be the final play of the third quarter. There's an injured Raptor. They'll take a look at him during the quarter break. They're going to walk all the way to the other end, and the ball will be at the 2-yard line. 3 in the books here in Canton in the D2 final. Your score, Avon 34, Anderson 13. We'll get fourth quarter play-by-play going when we come right back. Let's pause for these messages from your local stations. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Ohio, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You got to hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play, that my worth isn't determined by my performance, that even on my worst day, I am worthy, that you see me learning, growing, and doing my best, and that is enough.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Along with our producer and engineer Ryan Baker, David Wilson, Matt DeRazio in the booth, Greg Wilson, our spotter, Chris Sawecki on the field, Aaron Cassidy, our host. And we are going to the fourth quarter. Avon 34, Anderson 13. Here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, it's the Division II state final. Anderson on the doorstep. Second down and goal to go at the 2. Owen Scaff standing in the pocket and takes the snap, and a flag comes out on the first play. It's a false start against Anderson. It'll move it back to the 7. Let's check in with Chris Sawecki quickly here as we go to the fourth quarter. Anderson really in a must-score situation right here, Chris.
They really are, and that 5-yard penalty is not going to do them any favors, but they have they've been resilient all day long. They've got to score probably on this next play or two, and then they've got to work on stopping this Avon team, which has been something they've struggled with all day long.
Second down, goal to go from the 7. Scaff looking to throw, slant pattern into the end zone. It's caught. Tyson Weaver. Touchdown, Raptors. 5 seconds into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's a great throw by Scaff. Feet are not set. You got a slant that's coming screaming across the field. You throw it through traffic, and he puts it right on the dot.
That'll be his 10th catch of the night. Tyson Weaver has been the go-to receiver. That's his 20th touchdown catch of 2025. That makes it 34-19. We'll see what they decide to do here as far as going for two or kicking the extra point. 34-19. It was a 6-play, 39-yard drive after that great kick return by Mark Madden. Took only a minute and 30 seconds. They will go for the kick here. The PAT kick was blocked last time. This time it is booted through by Maddox Snyder. 34-20. We're back to a two-possession game.
We got a ball game. Now, here's the question. Raptors defensively have picking it up, flying around, making tackles, coming up, trying to find a way to come up with stops. Can they do a lot more of the same here on this drive? And we talked about Avon and Coach Elder and the decision-making on how aggressive do they want to be. That's the question. How aggressive? Obviously, taking care of the football is key, but, man, you almost want to go out guns a-blazing here and then not look back and say, hey, we ran the football and gave it away.
Guys, we were kind of marveling at the stats by Owen Scaff in the semifinal against Big Walnut when he threw 50 times, completed 37. Tonight, with most of the fourth quarter to go, 29 of 42.
I was hoping he was going to get to 100 just for a state championship record, and I don't know if he'll do that, but he's definitely going to blow past 50.
They're getting ready for the kickoff. The Eagles with Caden Bennett back deep. Snyder to kick. It is an onside kick. Ball is loose. It goes out of bounds near the 47-yard line. So they did get a bounce there as they rolled out the onside kick. Could not recover it.
I like the aggressiveness. I always wonder about an onside kick into the boundary. With that being said, you just don't have as much room for the bounce that you got because once the bounce came up and the ball came loose, you run out of room and it ends up going out of bounds. So I like the aggressiveness, just tough from the boundary.
Well, Ryan Baker looks up the state championship record in Division II for pass attempts. It's 45. Oh, and that was by Neil Seaman of Louisville in 2007 against Cincinnati Anderson.
There we go. He's got that beat, I would assume. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's got only 3 more to tie it. Avon ball near midfield. They'll snap it to Elder, and Cam Wendell carries to the 50-yard line, about a 3-yard gain. James Schneerstein made the tackle on Cam Wendell, the senior. Wendell 6 carries on the night. By the way, Keontae Smith, 117 yards rushing, plus a touchdown. Elder, play action, drops back to throw, fires over the middle, pass is caught, man wide open at the 30, now to the 30, to the 25, and thrown out of bounds to the 20-yard line. He could not get more wide open than Caden Clapham right there. He had plenty of room to run and roam after the catch all the way down to the 21.
The forgotten about guy. I don't know how, but comes from the left side of Elder as he runs the over route, uncovered, no one around him with the protection that Elder had. That's an easy throw. He's been doing that with pressure.
Clapham with his 3rd catch. Here's a running play right up the middle. Got to the 20, maybe to the 19-yard line.
Is there such a thing as a quiet 117-plus yard rushing game and a touchdown? Because that's kind of what it feels like with Smith. I mean, just been steady, taking his time, as I mentioned. Very patient runner. Got some burst, but it's really a quiet 100-yard game for him.
34-20. More flags now as it was the Anderson defensive line who jumped, I think. That's a 5-yard walk-off, and it'll take it down to about the 15-yard line. I don't know what's going on with Elder's snap count. By the way, the 29 completions for Owen Scaff ties a D2 state championship record for completions.
Wow.
So his next completion will set a record. 29 completed passes tonight. But his team is trailing by 14. He's on the sideline right now. And the officials say to hold up. Let's check in with Chris here while we've got a little break. That's some impressive numbers we're talking about. You've seen it field level there, Owen Scaff.
Yeah, he's done this all year long. In fact, in the ECC, at the end of the regular season, he had thrown for 1,500 more yards than the second most prolific passer in the entire conference. So what we're seeing tonight is exactly what they've been doing all season long, and it's kind of a signature of Evan Dreyer. That's the kind of offense he wants to run. So it doesn't surprise me that Scaff is doing what he's doing, maybe a little bit because of the elements and how cold it is. We have seen a couple balls go off fingertips because it's just so cold and so difficult to catch that ball. But Scaff is doing what Scaff does, and he's just a junior, so he'll be back in 2026 for another run, no doubt.
Chris, thank you very much. Also, Tyson Weaver is one catch away from tying a D2 state final record. That's held by Brandon Mathey in that same game in 2007. He had 11 grabs. So when Anderson shows up, records start to get tied and broken.
Yeah, yes, no doubt. And blown past here maybe in this fourth quarter, depending on how many possessions they get.
Here's Keontae Smith running straight ahead and just plows his way, dragging some Raptors with him down close to the 8-yard line. 6 yards. That should be good for a first down. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Eagles. Well, this guy is putting up some pretty impressive rushing totals. He's going to be at about 125 after that run.
And you wonder how a team that's leading, gives up a touchdown and they cut it to 2 scores. How are they going to respond? Well, they're going to respond with an amazing drive, controlling the football, eating the clock, and getting inside the 10-yard line at this point.
Blake Elder, the pistol, takes the snap, goes to Keontae Smith. He is grabbed immediately. Incredible job by Brady Kuhn, just breaking through the line untouched and wrapped up Keontae Smith.
Yeah, that was one of the few times Smith has been taken down by one person, and certainly in the backfield like that, in that manner, he's been able to avoid the first defender and takes a couple Raptors to bring him down. And you can even see he's still feeling that. That was a big hit, big play there by Kuhn.
He's their defensive player of the year in the conference. Came into tonight's game with 118 tackles. Elder to Smith again. Caught in the backfield at the 15-yard line this time. Or I should say the 10. So it's a loss of 2, maybe 3. Kuhn again just tracking Smith.
Yeah, he's on it for sure. Another good form tackle. Hung on there for a little bit till his buddies came and made the rest of the play. They've shut down the running game here inside the 10-yard line, and this is where Elder usually has some time. He's got a receivers with separation, and he's been delivering strikes and many touchdowns so far in this football game.
3rd down and goal from the 9-yard line. We have 8 minutes to go in the football game in the D2 final. And it looks like a timeout's been taken by Mike Elder and the Avon Eagles. Be the first of their 3 timeouts available. They will talk things over. There is a flag down. So let's see what that's all about.
Prior to the false start, we have a timeout against Anderson.
Well, they say Anderson took the timeout. So I think they'll pick the flag up. And it's just a timeout taken by Anderson. That would be their first timeout. Hey, friends, chocolate milk has essential nutrients every athlete needs, not typically found in traditional sports drinks. Next time you grab a beverage, whether it's in the lunchroom, out on the field, or at home, remember to rethink your drink and choose chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is the official beverage of the OHSAA. Well, Chris, down on the field, I hate to tell you this, but the temperature is dropping. It's 18, and the feels like temperature is now 10.
Yeah, you ain't telling me nothing. Cold, but I'll tell you what, they've got the heaters down here on the field, and the guys are taking turns keeping themselves as warm as they can be. Avon has some of those parkas as well, which has been helpful for them. But, man, you get out here, and Matt, you can speak to this. When you're in the heat of battle, the cold doesn't feel quite as cold. Now, if you're the last guy on the bench and you're not going to get in, that may be a different story. But these guys who are playing, they are focused, and they're not really feeling it.
I would agree with that. And I think nowadays, too, with some of the warm gear or heat gear and the hand warmers and obviously the heaters on the side and the parkas, those things help. But to your point, Chris, I think when you're playing, you're feeling it to a certain degree, but you can tell that this cold weather has not affected anybody throwing the football where you think that it might. But other than that, it's been very efficient tonight from both quarterbacks.
We have about 550 combined passing yards. Here we go, 3rd down and goal. Ball on the 9. Elder back to throw. Slings a pass. It's a screen to Smith. And he shook one tackle, but they got to him, and he's tackled at about the 12-yard line. Maybe even back to the 13 as Cincinnati Anderson, again, allowed nothing coming forward there on that screen pass.
They are playing tight defense here, and they are going to – I was wondering, are they going to kick the field goal? And looks like the Eagles are going to decide to go for a field goal here.
Jensen Petro is 5 of 7. This is going to be a 30-yarder from the left hash mark. The holder is Finn Jordanic. He puts it down after a good snap. The kick is on the way, and he has the distance, and he made it. A 30-yard field goal by Jensen Petro, his 6th of the season. Extends the Avon lead to 37-20 with 7:16 to go here in the 4th quarter. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. We'll pause now for these messages from the OHSAA. You're listening to coverage of the state football championships on the OHSAA radio network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Hey, Ohio, not every injury happens on the field. Car wrecks, hospital mistakes, slip and falls. When you're hurt, you need more than a quick sub off the bench. You need America's largest injury law firm. There's a reason Morgan & Morgan has over 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. A reason we've recovered more than $30 billion for people just like you. And a reason we never charge a dime unless we win. Morgan & Morgan, proud sponsor of Ohio High School Athletics. Injured? Just dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Yes! Big money bet right there.
Dad, what's a big money bet? Can I do it?
Well, sweetie, betting is risky, so it's only for adults.
But I want to win money too.
I won this time, but I don't always win. That's why it's called gambling. And it's not for kids, okay?
Okay.
Let's just watch the game.
Youth who gamble are 4 times more likely to experience a gambling disorder as an adult. Be aware, check for risks, guide their choices, help prevent youth gambling. Visit ChangeTheGameOhio.org.
You practice hard, you play hard, you're always reaching for your goals. You reach for the next point, the next yard, the next win. And after the game, reach for low-fat chocolate milk. It has the fluids to rehydrate you, the right mix of protein and carbs to refuel you, and the vitamins and minerals to help you build strong bones and bodies. Fuel up with chocolate milk. For more information, visit drink-milk.com.
This is Archie Griffin, and you're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network.
Now, we're big time if we have a bumper by Archie Griffin. You know? I mean, that's it.
There you go.
All right, 7:16 to go. 4th quarter, 37-20. Field goal by Jensen Petro. The Eagles leading it by 17 points. 8 plays, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. Don't forget, guys, that possession started after the failed onside kick, so they got the ball close to midfield.
Yeah, it was obviously helpful for Avon, but a good job putting the drive together. And I got to tell you, the thing about it is, though, only giving up 3 points. You got 3 timeouts, 7:16 left, down 17, and the way they move the football, I mean, honestly, a quick score here. I mean, at this point, Anderson's obviously fighting to the end. There's no doubt about it. But they've got to come up with a way to not dink and dunk and maybe take a couple more shots down the field for the quick strike.
And just some housekeeping, they did point the wrong direction earlier. That was an Avon timeout. So Anderson, as Matt alluded to, has all 3. Also, Blake Elder has tied a state championship record in Division II with his 4 touchdown passes tonight. It's been done 2 times before. Shane Ham of Hoban and Siemens in that 2007 game against Anderson.
Yeah, to me, like, the numbers are crazy. The records are being broken. Chris mentioned that the cold. There hasn't been a fumble yet. Has there been a fumble? Because that could also usually sometimes hard to hold on.
Right.
None of those things have been an issue at this point. One interception, but it was because it was a bad decision, not because of the grip on the football.
Yeah. Here's a line drive kick that was off the hands of an up back, and then it was recovered by Anderson at the 46-yard line.
It almost looked like it came off his heel. It was like a soccer rainbow type thing.
That was Reed Baker, who got hit by that kick. Kind of just deflected, maybe off his foot.
It did, and then Higgins. Is that who you said it was? Higgins who came in and made the play?
I'm not sure who covered it up. Okay, Antoine Higgins. Thank you, Chris and Greg. So 7:15 on the clock, and they get the ball close to midfield now. Scaff, slant pattern, caught by Weaver. His 11th catch. That ties the state championship record. And that sets a new completions record for Scaff as well with his 30th. He's back to throw. He wants more. Pressure is coming. He's running for it now. He gets to the 45, to the 40, 35, and out of bounds.
Scaff using his legs, smart. He does a great job of working the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield. The second half, he's using his legs more than he did in the first, and it's making a difference.
About 19 yards on the run. He got to the 34.5-yard line. He's ready to take the snap, and Avon will use a timeout. So they were on skates a little bit there after that big run. They almost had him in a sack, but he slithered out of there. 37-20 Avon in this D2 final. It's been kind of a odd game, Matt, in the score has been a pretty big spread, but it's never felt like Avon really has the game in the bag.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think a lot of that has to do with the Anderson, the style of offense they play, and it also has to do with plays like that on the kickoff where I couldn't tell if they were, was it like just a squib kick or were they trying some kind of like hit the to give up that field position, is not good when you're up by 17 and you're trying to hold them off.
Yeah, no chance that was the plan for sure. Hey, attention fans, it's easy to access your favorite OHSAA athletic events through our official digital ticketing partner, Hometown. Hometown allows fans to search, buy, and manage your tickets on your Hometown fan app for all OHSAA tournament events right from your mobile device. To download the Hometown app, go to the resources section of hometown.com. We're working our way through the fourth quarter in the D2 final. Avon up 37-20. It is Anderson ball. Owen Scaff back to throw. Fires a long pass left side of the field, caught by Jordan Davis, and he is ridden out of bounds over there. He could not turn it upfield and get down the sideline. He's out of bounds at the 30. Nice pickup on first down. It's second now and about 6 to go. 6:42. Anderson with the ball. Back to throw Scaff. Pressure is coming. Throws over the middle. Pass caught. 15, 10, 5. Down at about the 2-yard line. Cooper Cathman. Catch and run. And he gets inside the 5. It'll be down at the 2. 1st and goal, Anderson.
And a good job by Scaff. He's looking left the whole way, gets a little pressure, steps up and finds the receiver coming across in his vision on the right side and hits him on the run. A guy on the move, you want to keep him on the move, and that's exactly what happened for the big gainer.
Avon takes a timeout. They have 1 left. 6.5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. And so as they take a timeout, we will as well. Avon 37, Anderson 20, with Cincinnati Anderson holding the ball at the 2-yard line. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA on the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Welcome to today's game. I'm Dan Horde, the voice of the Cincinnati Bengals. While I love calling the action of Bengals games, I also love high school sports. On behalf of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, let's all do our part to set a good example and make this a fun and safe experience for the kids involved. I know how much this game means to the players, coaches, and fans, but high school sports are about so much more than wins and losses. They are about communities, sportsmanship, and life lessons that will stay with the student athletes long after their playing days are over. Good luck to both teams, and please remember to respect the game.
Owen Scaff takes the ball and runs left, but he was tackled very quickly. Again, Tegan Hertuku, who is their starting left guard, getting some action going, but they got him down at the 1. 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Scaff has it. This time he is hit at the 1 and driven backwards. First, it was Vincent DiTilio on the stop. That time, Max Hauk, the nose tackle. They're looking at 3rd and goal from the 1. 2 big defensive plays.
Yeah, Scaff, they're trying to run him in twice now. The only thing bad about that is the time that burns. You know, that if you have an incompletion, you stop the clock, and now you're in a 3rd and short.
2 receivers on each side. There's some movement. Avon players thinks it's against Anderson, and it is. It's going to move it back to the 6-yard line. The 2 quarterback runs. There have been 2 stops by Avon, and now a false start.
And then with every false start and every drop pass, Anderson they do push-ups. And unfortunately on film, there's going to be way too many of those. I understand that. You know, it's kind of the reminder, but man, oh man, if they could eliminate that, there's been quite a few of them where they've backed up 5 yards.
Scaff with 4 receivers. He drops to throw, pass to the back of the end zone, in traffic. It's broken up, and it falls incomplete. 4th down and goal from the 6-yard line. Ben Streetcheck was there to help knock it away. It was intended for Weaver. And so now 4th down, 4:59 to go. This really is the ball game for Cincinnati Anderson. They have to cash in. 5 receivers. Empty backfield. They snap it to Scaff. He gets rid of the football. It's incomplete. He had pressure in his face right away. He's on the turf. He took a hit as he threw the ball. DiTilio again there. Might have tipped the ball as he was pressuring Owen Scaff. Avon holds. He'll get the ball back, leading at 37-20. Goal line stand for the Avon Eagles, successful.
Yeah, and it goes back to 1st and 2nd down with the quarterback runs. I know Scaff does a good job. He's actually scored already today out with his legs, but man, he's doing a great job, obviously, completing the ball, too. Spread them out. You throw the ball a couple times. They burn a ton of clock. They lost the yards. Did not get in. Then you add the penalty in and the pressure at the end. That's where the hand got up, knocked the ball down. No chance. Avon shows up on the defensive side of the ball.
Season where they have averaged 40 points. They've almost gotten to that plateau here tonight. Here's a run up the middle by Keontae Smith, turning on the Jets past the 30 to the 40 and caught at about the 45-yard line. 39-yard run. They started at the 6 and now at the 45.
I was saying how he had a quiet 100-plus yards. Can you have a quiet 200 yards? I don't know. He's got to be approaching that at this point. He's got to be over 150. But, man, he's been spot on, good vision, and broke away with some speed.
Kamari Ty got him down from behind as he never gave up and caught him. Wendell now running, and he is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. This will make it second down, about 9 to go. It'll keep the clock moving. Smith was at 163, I believe, Matt, after that long run.
Well, how about we get another record? Why don't we phone down to Elder and say, hey, there's been about 10 records either tied or broken. Can we snag another one on the way out the door here?
Second down, 9 to go, 3:48. Anderson has 3 timeouts left, but they're down 17 points, and Avon has the ball, looking for their second straight state championship. That's Keontae Smith, keeping it right in the middle. He is plowed over. Not much gain there. So nothing on that play. Third down, still 9 to go. Tackle by Reed Baker, the senior. This Anderson team unbeaten on the year at 14-0, but they are in an unfavorable spot here in Canton for the second straight year. They had a thrilling win last week against Big Walnut, 29-22. Avon cruised in here to the state final after defeating Walsh Jesuit 38-7. This is Smith, running room, into the second level, shakes a couple tacklers to the 40 and maybe to the 36-yard line. He gets into Anderson territory, about a 17-yard run. Smith just continues to eat up yardage. On this night where we, from the get-go, have been talking about the impressive and prolific passing attacks of both of these teams, Keontae Smith, he's really been the story.
He really has. He's been consistent the entire football game. That he's come up big when they've needed him the most, and like I said, even though he's got a ton of yards, it really hasn't been in lights. It's been the passing game that we've been talking about, but he's been delivering.
Wendell to the 35, and a flag is down. It's getting a little chippy right now. That was some very aggressive tackling as Wendell was driven backward. There are flags down. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. And that was Reed Baker. Let's check in with Chris here, see if he picked up what happened.
Well, there have been a few tackles all night long that have gone a little bit beyond the whistle, and so I think this time it got a little bit too far along, and with the game a little bit out of hand at this stage, the officials just want to make sure it stays clean all the way to the end.
Also need
and here comes another flag by one of the Anderson players as he walked off the field, apparently said something because he got a late flag there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things to sort out here for the officials. The Avon fans being exhorted to make some noise, which they comply with the urging of the players. Officials are talking things over.
There's certainly some emotion, obviously, and some frustration from the Raptors. But when you talk about Avon, they're fired up over here on their side. In fact, Chris probably needs to check back in because a few guys lost their shirts over there again. They're back from urgent care, and they're back at it. So, and rightfully so here with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left.
I couldn't make out all of that, but in the end, they're going to just replay the down.
It was one of those backyard do-overs. There's too much going on because the official's going back and forth with the football. He went 15 yards back, then he went another 15 forward. He's confused, and it's the old turkey bowl. Hey, let's just do this one over and then replay the down.
Well, they're still talking it over. They got Max Hauk for leading with his helmet, I believe. All right, they're still talking. Let's pause 10 seconds here and allow stations to identify themselves here on the OHSAA radio network.
WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren. We are AM 600, The Patriot, a Cumulus media station.
They're still sorting out the penalties here in Canton. 37-20, Avon 2:06 to go. They're still trying to find all the flags to pick up.
There's quite a few.
Coming up after the game, Chris will have some post-game reaction for you. We'll have the trophy presentation from a field level. So all of that is upcoming on our post-game show. What a way to get the weekend started. There's still one flag down. Football is being placed at the 37. Is that where we started?
I was just going to say, I feel like that's where we started.
It's been a while. I can't remember.
I know. After all that, and I don't even know. There were so many players who have been run off the field, and I'm not sure. Good. I mean, to Chris's point, though, let's keep this clean on the way out. It's been a great season, good football game. No reason to spoil it here with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left.
These teams meeting for the second straight year in the D2 final. Avon prevailed a year ago. Looks like they're going to again. The clock is now moving again. We're under 2 to go. Avon in no hurry. There are 30 seconds left on the play clock, and they're still in the huddle. They can milk this one all the way down past the 1:30 mark.
It almost feels like a victory formation, right?
Yeah, they're very close.
I mean, Anderson's
it's first and 10.
Yeah, they got 3 timeouts, but I'm sure they're not using them. So
they would have used them by now, I think. Here's Blake Elder. He takes the snap, feeds it to Wendell. Bounces to the outside, hits a wall. Not going any farther than the 35. Cincinnati Anderson. They got to the goal line on their last possession. They were denied by that Avon defense, which, you know, that wouldn't have tied the game. It could have potentially made it a 10-point game, and then you look at an onside kick perhaps.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that it was a game-saving goal line stand, Matt, but it was certainly timely and really took the air out of the sails of any momentum that Anderson had at that point.
Yeah, and really for Anderson, the entire football game felt that way. Just not enough. Like a little bit of success, felt like they might have had a shot, getting some traction, and just could not finish it.
Outstanding performance by Blake Elder and Keontae Smith. Wendell stays in the backfield, and he breaks to the outside, tries to turn the corner. He's out of bounds at the 30. He did not want that to happen. Stops the clock with 49 seconds left.
And I understand running the football sometimes because taking a knee, I guess, get some guys some carries or whatever it may be. But this was definitely victory formation time, but not when you run out of bounds. And I mean, for no other reason, you just want to finish the game with the ball. You don't want to give the ball back and have to play defense.
WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren. We are AM 600, The Patriot, a Cumulus media station.
Tell him to not run out of bounds again. He's like, I got it. Now a flag is out. False start against Avon. 49 seconds on the clock. What a game for Avon here in the state championship. They came out from the get-go and took charge. Blake Elder, 4 touchdown passes. The senior and son of Mike Elder, the longtime coach. Mike in his 19th season. This will be his 212th win. I think I read a note in an article as Wendell carries straight up the middle. Spins, gets tackled at about the 31. That's going to get us, I think, to the finish line. But I believe Blake Elder was born a week after Mike Elder coached his first game with Avon.
Wow. And now he's out here finishing it with them. It's a special scene for sure.
That's going to do it. No further plays will be run. Avon starts the celebration. Handshakes will begin at midfield. The Division II state championship game is over. And for the second consecutive season, the Avon Eagles will be taking the state championship trophy back to Lorain County. We're at 000 here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. And your final score in the Division II state championship game, the Avon Eagles 37, the Cincinnati Anderson Raptors 20. A frigid night. The players battled through the elements all night, Matt, and the Avon Eagles, they hit the ground running this evening, took the early lead. They never looked back.
Yeah, and both teams really had tough schedules, but when you looked at Avon's schedule, I mean, and the way that they handled it all year, you saw the freight train coming. I know they lost the game in Florida with their only loss here in 2 years, but you saw some of the teams they beat and how they beat them. You wondered who could beat them, and the answer is here in Ohio, nobody could.
All right, our post-game show is just ahead. Chris Sawecki will be on the field with plenty of post-game reaction. We'll have the presentation of the trophies as well. Avon wins the Division II state title, 37-20 over Cincinnati Anderson. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Here's to the ones who put in the work, the no days off, rise and grind warriors who live by the oath of my body is my temple. And when their temple needs to rebuild after a long workout, athletes of all types choose low-fat chocolate milk. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. Chocolate milk turns Motivation Monday into Flex Friday. Crush your goals with the help of a real recovery drink. Try it for yourself. Built with chocolate milk. The official beverage of high school sports is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
EA Graphics is the official state tournament merchandise partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. EA Graphics is on-site at OHSAA tournament contests with t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and many other apparel items. And it doesn't end when the tournament is over. Check out OHSAA tournament merchandise online at shopohsaa.com. That's shopohsaa.com. EA Graphics and the OHSAA, wear a piece of history.
Former Ohio State and NFL quarterback Bobby Hoy.
Growing up in Ohio, the lessons I learned through sports not only helped take me to the Ohio State University and the NFL, but they also apply every day in my career after sports. Lessons that build character, discipline, sportsmanship, and teamwork are what remain long after your playing days are over. Through interscholastic athletics, OHSAA member schools help kids build a foundation for a lifetime of success.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. School sports aren't just extracurricular. They are extra important. Find out more at OHSAA.org.
Welcome back to Canton's Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. A clear and very cool night here in Canton, Ohio, the Hall of Fame city. 37-20, Avon. They win it over Cincinnati Anderson for the second consecutive year. A bitter disappointment for Anderson High School as they suffer their first loss of the season to finish at 14-1. Avon finishes with the same record, but with the state title. David Wilson here along with Matt DeRazio. Chris Sawecki is on the field. We'll be going down to Chris momentarily. We've got our trophy presentations just ahead, but Matt, we can start in with just some of your post-game thoughts as we watch everything unfold down on the field. And back-to-back state championships, most schools dream of one. Avon has two in the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's impressive, and the way that the community has backed them, like many communities throughout Ohio, and support their high school sports. But I got to tell you, Chris and I, one was offense, one was defense, and it was actually special teams that was a huge factor.
All right, we're going to go down to the runner-up trophy presentation.
OHSAA Executive Director Doug Ute, our OHSAA Director John Cronauer, and OHSAA Board of Directors member Glenn Gillespie to present the Division II State Runner-Up Trophy.
Anderson fans, what do you think of these young men and the effort they've given all season long? 14 wins, Eastern Cincinnati Conference champions, your 5th Final Four, 3rd state runner-up, and you've had 1 championship in your school history. And you were here back-to-back. Getting up at 5:53 in the morning to come and put the effort in. I know your community is proud of you and the effort that you put in. I was fortunate to watch 3 of your games this year. Always exciting, always fun to be around. And again, what a great, great effort. I have Glenn Gillespie here from our board of directors, also the director of the OIAAA. On behalf of all of our member schools, our staff at the OHSAA, and our board, it is our privilege to present the Anderson Raptors, the Division II State Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, gentlemen.
There you hear it, the presentation of the runner-up trophy to Cincinnati Anderson, 3rd time that they have been runner-up in the state championship game. We'll await the presentation momentarily to Avon. Blake Elder tonight, 12 of 18, 216 yards, 4 touchdowns. Keontae Smith, 31 carries, 180 yards and a touchdown, along of 40. Leading receiver Finn Jordanic, 4 catches, 45 yards and a touchdown. They're gathered around the Hall of Fame logo at midfield. The Eagles have been joined on the field by the Avon Band. All right, let's go back down to the field. The trophy presentation to the state champs about to happen.
Along with OHSAA Executive Director Doug Ute, please welcome Director Bo Rugg and OHSAA Board of Directors member John Carter for the presentation of the Division II Championship Trophy.
Coach Elder, this has been a magical fall for the Avon Eagles. 3 different state championships culminated by this one. You told me before the game that it's not about repeating, it's about the process every year, the commitment every year. And this team has been to the state semifinals 8 out of the last 9 years. That's commitment. You have clearly established yourself as the leader in Division II statewide. John Carter from our board of directors is here, and we're so proud, on behalf of all of our member schools, our board and staff, to give you your 2nd straight state championship trophy. Congratulations.
That was the voice of Bo Rugg of the OHSAA delivering the state championship trophy to the Avon Eagles. You heard some of their superlatives, but back-to-back state champions, 37-20, the final score here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium this evening, knocking off the previously unbeaten Cincinnati Anderson Raptors. We'll continue with our post-game show in just a moment. We'll check back in with Chris Solwecki. First, let's pause for these messages from your local stations on the OHSAA Radio Network.
Action Council is a member-driven, not-for-profit organization that provides employers with best practices for a healthy workforce through leadership, innovative services, and collaboration. Health Action Council works with employers to improve the quality, cost, and value of healthcare. The Ohio High School Athletic Association and Health Action Council invite all Ohio schools to join us for the Healthy Kids Step It Up Challenge. Find out details at healthykidsgo.org.
Hi, I'm Anthony Munoz. I didn't make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame by letting drugs and alcohol affect my ability to play. I brought my A game every time, and that's what you should do when sharing the road. That means never getting behind the wheel under the influence and wearing your seatbelt, because it's always the best defense against a drunk driver. So whether you're driving around town or to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, never let impaired driving take you out of the game.
This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety.
Jim Lachey, Ohio State football All-American and NFL Super Bowl champion on Achievement.
Hi, I'm Jim Lachey. Studies show that students who play school sports tend to have better attendance records, higher grade point average, fewer discipline problems, and are more likely to pursue a college education. High school sports also teaches leadership, character, and provide the foundation for becoming a good citizen. Let's respect the game, and remember to always keep the student first and student athlete.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship. So why do they play?
My reason why is friendship.
Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
(37-20), Avon wins it in the D2 state final. Chris Sowecki is stationed on the field with a special guest.
I'm here with head coach Mike Elder. Mike, I just heard that stat of being in the Final Four 8 of the last 9 years. That's insane. How does that happen?
It's just a lot of hard work. We got great kids from great families who are willing to do what our coaching staff asked, and guys who work tirelessly as coaches. And the team that didn't make it, honestly, is one of the best teams ever at Avon. They happened to lose to the state champs in the regional final. So we've been consistently good, and I'm super proud of that.
Consistently good. 2 straight state championships would speak to that as well. Talk a little bit about the way things went tonight, because Anderson made a mistake very early, and it felt like you just put your foot on their throat and never let up.
Yeah, I think that's what good teams do. You take advantage of mistakes by the other team, and that was big for us to get off to a good start like that, and just proud of our kids to capitalize.
Talk a little bit, take your coach's hat off for just a second, and talk about getting a chance to coach your son, who's being honored right now as the Morgan & Morgan Most Valuable Player. But just talk about those last couple of years.
It's been incredible. You know, he got to play a little bit as a sophomore, and then had to wait his turn as a junior, played 10 weeks of JV football, went undefeated, and you know, the kid's a winner. He's probably like 78-5 in his since 3rd grade, so I'm really proud of Blake.
Both sides of the ball were maybe not perfect, but they were awfully good. What does this team mean to you? I know they all mean something special, but what does this team mean to you in particular?
They had so much pressure on them, placed on them, and they just showed up every day, and they loved each other, and they never played to beat an opponent. They played for another week together. They played for the brotherhood they have, and a lot of these kids have been playing football together since 1st and 2nd grade, and it's a really special thing. And when you love each other, you can do things like this.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you. I also have with me his son, Blake, who is the quarterback of this team and was just named Most Valuable Player. Blake, congratulations on that honor.
Thank you so much.
Talk to me a little bit about the way things unfolded here tonight, because it felt like early on you got a kind of a gift on that punt by Anderson, and you guys just went after that, and your offense was clicking all night long.
Yeah, I mean, momentum's big in these games, and you want to get off to a good start early, so I believe that's what we did. And then on offense, we're really balanced, so if they're going to take away the run, we're going to throw it, and if they're going to take away the pass, we're going to run it. So
I know you guys kind of dedicated this season to the memory of Mr. Kelly, and rightly so. Talk about the impact or the influence that he has given you.
I mean, he was such a great person. He was awesome. He was an influence to all of us, and I'm glad we got it done. I think he'll be proud of us.
Last year playing JV, this year the starting quarterback for the varsity team. Talk about your journey a little bit and what it's meant to play for your dad.
In Avon, JV is very important. It's how we get developed, and it's very important games. And I mean, I just waited for my chance, and when I got it, I tried to take full advantage of it. And playing for my dad, I mean, I've dreamed of this my whole life. So now that I get to do it, I'm so glad that we got it done.
Taking full advantage of it, I'd say you did a good job of that tonight, young man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Back to you guys.
Down on the field tonight in tough conditions, and we thank Aaron Cassidy for wrangling the elders for the post-game interviews as well. Just a couple last thoughts here. Jordanic, Clapham, Bennett, and Barr caught the touchdown passes. The first three, Jordanic, Clapham, and Bennett, helped create a 21-0 lead for Avon. That's quite a hole, even for a Cincinnati Anderson in a state championship scenario.
Yeah, I would say an early special teams error. As Coach Elder said, you take advantage of that, and you don't let a team like Cincinnati Anderson get any momentum, because when they do, it's hard to slow them down. They slowed them down right from the beginning, jumped on them, as you mentioned, with 3 scores right away, and that proved to be enough, and they played mistake-free football the rest of the way out.
Owen Scaff, 32 of 47 for Cincinnati Anderson, a state championship game record for completions, 376 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times. I don't know this as a fact, Matt, but I don't know that there would have been many games this year when he took 5 sacks.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. When he wasn't getting sacked, he was taking big hits, and he was almost felt throughout the game. And that's a credit to Avon and the way they put pressure and the way they pursued him all night and made him really feel their impact and really got him off balance. And because of that, he was, I hate to say he's off because of the yards and all but by his standards, this was not where he typically goes.
Tyson Weaver caught 11 balls, 125 yards for Anderson in the losing cause. So they had some guys with some big nights, but they fall here to Avon. Let's check in one last time with Chris Sowecki, who I think is still with us, just for some closing thoughts on what you witnessed down there. You had a bird's eye view of it all there, Chris.
Well, what a great start to the weekend, right? I mean, just a fantastic football game between 2 really, really good teams. And to hear Mike Elder talk about the consistency of a program, I think that's the thing that's going to stick out to me the most, and something that Evan Dreyer is trying to create at Anderson as well. But to be able to be in the Final Four 8 out of 9 years, to be back-to-back state champions, they've got something special at Avon, and it's been fun to watch tonight. And for Anderson, Owen Scaff's coming back. There's several guys on that offense coming back. That team is going to be high-powered and continue to play well. So the future is bright for both of these teams, and what a fantastic way to kick off the weekend.
Chris, pro job. Thank you so much for all the great work tonight on the field. Come up and warm up. It's going to take him about an hour
or
to get warmed up. All right, Matt, last time for you as well. We probably can't say it enough. Owen Scaff is a junior.
Yeah, he'll be back and breaking some more records, I'd imagine. And honestly, this is like one of my favorite weekends of the year, starting off on Thursday night all the time. It's always a good game and really just caps off an unbelievable season of all these communities coming together and supporting these teams.
One last mention of some records. Passing yards was also, I think, set tonight by a wide margin. Previous mark was 333. That took place in 2008 in the D2 game, and Scaff smashed through that with his 376 tonight. Thanks to Ryan Baker for looking that one up. Matt, great job, my friend.
Yeah.
Always great to share the booth with you. Your knowledge and commentary so useful to the listeners. I know they appreciate it as well as I do. Great working with you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, that was fun. Let's go. A couple more left, I guess they said.
All right, once again, that's going to wrap it. And our final score in this OHSAA Division II Football State Championship game, Avon 37 and Anderson 20. We hope you'll tune back into the OHSAA Radio Network tomorrow morning, Friday, for the Division IV title game as the Shelby Whippets battle Cleveland Glenville. Our coverage will start at 10:10 with the kickoff at 10:30. On behalf of OHSAA Executive Director Doug Ute, our radio network executive producer Tim Streed, our on-site producers Ryan Baker and Aaron Cassidy, and my broadcast partners Matt DeRazio and Chris Solwecki, it's David Wilson now saying goodbye from Canton, Ohio. Congratulations again to the Avon Eagles. They are the back-to-back Division II state champions in OHSAA high school football. The preceding broadcast has been a presentation of the OHSAA Radio Network, fueled by chocolate milk.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the iMedia One Network, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
6.